My Sports Vibes, thank you for vibing with me. My Sports Vibes, thank you for vibing with me. Yeah. My Sports Vibes, thank you for vibing with me. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. Let's go. I really do this. I'm a hybrid fan. I'm a stand-up man. Yeah. They be hating on the squads, but they really a fan. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get it, everybody. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. How's everybody doing on this wonderful day? How's everybody doing on this wonderful day? God bless to each and every one of y'all. We got a lot to talk about. And if you're a Viking fan, we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to speak on. We have some problems. You know what I mean? We have some problems, and I'm not sure if we had the answer. And it's the quarterback position because we don't know. Yes, I believe in J.J. McCarthy. I believe in J.J. McCarthy. I'm going to say it again. Shout out to good morning, Mary. Good morning. I believe in J.J. McCarthy, so I want people to understand. But just because I believe in J.J. McCarthy does not mean that Kevin O'Connell believes in J.J. McCarthy. Does not mean that Kwesi really believes in J.J. McCarthy. Does not mean that the Minnesota Vikings organization wants to take another year to develop, which they should in 2026. They should let him play in 2026 and prove himself. But that doesn't mean that they're going to go that route. There's a lot of different quarterbacks that could possibly start right now, that we could possibly make a trade for or get on a veteran minimal deal. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Donald. There's so many routes we can go with this. But regardless of the matter, we have to go get a backup quarterback. We cannot go into 2026 with Max Brosmer and J.J. McCarthy. That's not going to be acceptable. And as a big-time Minnesota Viking fan that wants to win a Super Bowl, that would be the worst case scenario. Because just because I believe in J.J. McCarthy doesn't mean, and I hate to say this, that he's going to be healthy the whole entire season. So you can't go into 2026 saying, hey, let's just play it out and see what happens. No, that's irresponsible. That's not responsible at all. We got a whole season to play. And as much as I love some of the moments that I seen, like some of the plays that he was making, super athletic, he got that it factor. I love him doing the gritty in the end zone. I love it. People don't like that. I like it. I like when J.J. McCarthy does that stuff. I'm going to get to the comments shortly. But the unfortunate truth, as a Viking fan, we know Kevin O'Connell don't like it. We know Kevin O'Connell don't like it. So I'm just saying, y'all, I'm saying all this to say this to y'all. Get ready for the most entertaining offseason in probably Minnesota Viking history. Because we're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers. I guarantee you, by the end of this offseason, we're going to talk about every quarterback you could think of. Every rumor that you heard of or any rumor that you didn't hear of, you're going to hear about it at some point. You're going to hear some stuff like, what? That really is a rumor? I'm trying to tell y'all. Get ready. Get ready. But let me read some of these comments before I really go in. And we're also going to talk about Bill Belichick not being first ballot Hall of Famer. And as a Viking fan, I'm going to speak on that. And we're going to definitely get into that too. Because that's making the Hall of Fame look a little suspect. The voters, I want all their names just in a big ESPN article. I want to have all the voters' names so I can look at their names and say, how do you not let a 6-time Super Bowl champion coach not be first ballot? How? If he isn't first ballot, now I'm about to get into it, but we're not going to get into it at this very moment, but we're going to definitely talk about that. But shout out to everybody in the building. Let me read some of these comments real quick before I really talk that talk. And shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We are going live for every Viking game with the scoreboard and everything. And whether you're a Viking fan or not, consider subscribing. We're also going to be going live for some primetime games, not all, but some. So shout out to everybody that's in the building right now. Let me read some of these comments. Sup, bro? You get to check out Denzel. But I didn't, but I will check him out. I will check him out. I got you, bro. Let me write the name again because there's so many things going on. Yeah, I have it written down right here. I got you, bro. I got you. You have to bring someone in to compete, and I agree with that. If you do, he probably loses the starting job. Possibly. Dude can run routes and get the jump ball. I'm gonna have to look him up, brother. I'm gonna have to look him up. Need competition and a strong one at that. And I'm 100% with you, Mary. And I just wanted to say everything in the beginning because I don't want people saying, "Oh, you're giving up on JJ." That's not the case. But we got to be smart. We got to be intelligent. We got to be proactive. We can't be reactive. And then something happens with JJ McCarthy, and we just sitting here like, dang, our whole 2026 NFL season is done. We starting Max Brosmer, respectfully speaking. I ain't trying to come at the man, but I'm being honest with y'all. No, it's not. I'm ready for everybody, everything. If we do again. Yeah, I get it, bro. Watching tennis, ain't nothing wrong with tennis. Actually, my favorite. I think tennis is an underrated sport. My favorite tennis player of all time is Roger Federer. I couldn't stand Nadal, but I have a lot of respect for him though. He's one of the greatest of all time. I was thinking about what you said. The other day about trying. Made me think of Yoda from the Star Wars. Do or do not there is no try. That's true. And I think they're coming up with a new Star Wars movie, by the way. I was at the movie theater. I seen Avatar. Good movie, by the way. The new Avatar movie. Good movie, by the way. Free promotion. It was very good. And I seen the commercial that they're coming up with another Star Wars movie. So look out for that, bro. All right. So we got this will be the last year of Kevin O'Connell unless he changes his mindset. Facts. Hello, what's going on, Star Wars? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Shout out to you, my brother. Happy birthday, my guy. Shout out to you, brother, man. God bless to you and many more birthdays. You know what I mean? And many more birthdays. Rumors start this week in Vibes Senior Bowl weekend. You already know the vibes, Dylan. You already know the vibes. And I want Viking fans to not be frustrated. Listen, don't be frustrated with all the rumors that you're going to hear, whether you're a JJ McCarthy guy or not. Don't be frustrated. Just enjoy the offseason. Try not to overthink it. Try to enjoy it. I know it's going to be a long, drawn-out offseason where you're like, man, I can't believe they just said we're about to trade for, let's put a big name out there. Oh, they're going to trade for Josh Allen, knowing it's not going to happen. You're going to hear some things that you wouldn't expect to hear. You're going to hear some things. I'm telling y'all right now. Just using that as an example. It's crazy. That's why we're going to talk about that too, bro. We're going to talk about all that. I'm just reading these comments, catching up. I've never liked that quote. You can try and fail, you still try. Yeah. You can try and succeed. That's true too. All right. Now let's get to why I went live. And as a big-time Viking fan that's proud to be a Viking fan, I'm disappointed that we're not in the Super Bowl. But as a big-time Minnesota Viking fan from Pennsylvania, because of the greatest wide receiver of all time, Randy Moss, I don't care. That's my opinion. Randy Moss is my GOAT, and it is what it is. You can put the statistics out there. I don't care. Randy Moss is my GOAT at wide receiver. But anyway, getting back to the topic of this video. So we have a question at the quarterback position. Vikings have a question at starting and backup quarterback going into 2026 NFL season. Now, we can go to the route of, and there's some articles I actually want to bring up and talk about. But we got so many quarterback twos, right? We got so many quarterback twos or possibly a starter. And I'm going to bring up this first article written by Adam New. Looks like Vikings territory is I read a lot of their articles, by the way. I'm very interested in what they're going to say because this is my first time. I kind of skimmed through it a little bit. I didn't really read it. So we're going to talk about it, and let me bring it up right now for y'all so y'all can see where I'm at right now. All right, so is it, hopefully y'all can see it. I'm going to make myself super small. If you can't see me, I apologize. But this is some of the quarterbacks that are rumored to go to the Minnesota Vikings. So 5 quarterback trade candidates the Vikings should monitor. Right. So let's talk about it. So this is what he wrote. The Minnesota Vikings are going to bring another quarterback onto the roster for the 2026 season. There are slim pickings in free agency, which leaves a reasonable chance that the team needs to find a trade partner to find the guy who can come in alongside of J.J. McCarthy or maybe even take his job. We'll see what happens. Now, 5 quarterbacks that fit Vikings trade conversation, and this is just his opinion, so don't overreact in the comments, y'all. Don't overreact. So both Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell have stated that the team needs a better plan at quarterback for the 2026 season. McCarthy isn't yet being kicked to the curb, and that's a debate right there. But the Vikings brain trust realize they need a plan B should McCarthy fail to show enough progress this year who can keep the season competitive if called upon. And I agree with that. You know what I mean? You can't go into the season with, it's a guarantee. J.J. McCarthy's the starter in 2026 NFL. No. First, so far, he hasn't proved enough, unfortunately, because of the injuries, not because of his ability. It's his injuries that kept him out. If J.J. McCarthy was healthy for the whole entire season, and I hate saying if, should have, could have, would have, I think the Vikings would have made the playoffs. I think we would have made the playoffs. I really believe that. Now let's get back to the article. Despite all the quarterback woes, the Vikings finished with 9 wins last season. McCarthy showed enough to have still a chance to lead this team, which I agree with that, with the caveat that significant improvement in consistency is required, which I agree with that. However, after playing in just 10 games out of the possible 34 since being drafted. Ooh, that's a hurt piece right there, y'all. That is a hurt piece right there. Wow, I didn't even know that was that many. Damn, 34 games? He only played 10? Gosh, it is as difficult to trust the young quarterback's health as it is to rely on his consistency. So my whole thing is this, right? Because we know people keep on saying to me, well, he's super young. That is the issue that we have, right? Because I don't like even using the whole, he's super young, he'll be all right killing. Man, let me tell you this right now. As you get older, it does take a little bit longer to heal, I guess. That's what a lot of people say. When you get a lot older, it takes a lot longer to heal, right? He's getting hurt like this, and he's only 23 years old now. So it's like, how many more injuries? He had a meniscus tear. That's not a small little injury. I mean, I know it's not like an ACL, but a meniscus tear, depending on how bad it is. I had a meniscus tear, and depending on how bad it is, that is not the easiest injury to come back. Even though he did come back and he looked pretty good, but it's just the constant. All right, he fractured. He had a hairline fracture in his hand. He had, what else did he have? He had a concussion. He had a high ankle sprain. All this in one season, y'all. Hairline fracture in his hand. He had a high ankle sprain that took so long. But then you got Carson Wentz out here somehow, some way, playing with a fractured shoulder, dislocated shoulder, a torn labrum. All you see is a dang on shoulder brace. And Kevin O'Connell got him walking on the field trying to throw passes to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. But let me get back to the article. The Vikings need another option. So who might be available? Big question mark. Fantasy scenarios might have the team making a move for Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Now, this is fantasy. I love the fact that he put fantasy because I don't think Joe Burrow's coming to the Vikings. I'm going to get to the comments shortly, y'all. I don't think Justin Herbert's coming to the Vikings, but then I think Justin Herbert is a higher chance than Joe Burrow because of his coach. You know what I mean? That's the only reason. But I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. Would I be happy if we made a trade for Joe Burrow? Yes. Would I be happy? I'd be okay with Justin Herbert, depending on how much we give up. You know what I mean? And this is also what he said. He said, but I'm not sure seeing anything to suggest that's a realistic scenario. And that's what I'm looking at here, so we got Justin Herbert, we got Joe Burrow. Now, this is what one of the top guys that he's talking about right here. Kyler Murray. Now, I know people don't mess with Kyler Murray, and there was the rumors that he had to get something in his contract saying that, man, you got to stop playing on that Call of Duty. You got to get your head in the game, brother. You the starting quarterback. You're the first overall pick in one of those drafts a couple years ago. I love his talent, but where's his mindset? See, the thing about it is you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the mindset to match your talent, you're not going anywhere. And one thing about being a Viking fan is I don't want just a talented player. I want someone with a good mindset. No, nobody's perfect. Call of Duty is not the worst thing in the world, but it does show if you have to get that in a contract, that means it was hard for you to break that. Whatever you just couldn't help yourself. You should be studying what's going on with the opposing team. I'm not saying that he doesn't study the opposing defense every Sunday, but it's just a little bit alarming to me. It shows, is he mature enough? It's like I said, it's a mindset thing for me. Now, I'm a little bit iffy with the Kyler Murray. He's super talented. He plays, I don't know about his accuracy like that, but it seems like he plays a lot of off script. And I don't know if Kevin O'Connell rocks with the off script. Kevin O'Connell wants his offense one certain way, and that's all. Will he adapt because you got to adapt your play calling for this guy. If you ain't adapting your play calling for J.J. McCarthy, what makes you think they're going to want Kyler Murray? You know what I mean? He plays way more off script than J.J. McCarthy. Can I talk that talk, ladies and gentlemen? I'm being honest.
That talk.
So how can a Kyler Murray, I like his talent. I'm going to get to the comments shortly, y'all. I think he is very talented. I think he would be fun to watch in the purple and gold. I heard that he grew up being a Viking fan. But what about his mindset? That is the biggest question I have. And I'm not giving up anything. He got to get released or let go by the Cardinals. That's the only way. I'm not giving up nothing. That's just and if you get a Kyler Murray, he's not coming to the Vikings to be no backup. So I just want people to understand that. You might as well just say, and I say this respectfully because I'm a J.J. McCarthy guy. Kyler Murray's going to beat out J.J. McCarthy. I say that respectfully. Kyler Murray is not listen, I know people don't like the man, maybe his personal whatever was going on, but he is very, very talented. He has some years where you're like, oh, he showed flashes where you're like, oh, snap. If the Cardinals can get this and that, they could probably be in a contention to make a run in the playoffs. So he's not a bad quarterback. But I think if they went head to head, I'm telling you right now, Kyler Murray's going to be like, man, I got to beat out J.J. McCarthy. Let me go to Minnesota. So if Viking fans think he's going to be a backup and be cool with being a backup, I'm telling y'all right now, he's not going to sign with the Vikings unless he has a chance to beat out J.J. McCarthy. And in my opinion, I say this respectfully, he will beat out J.J. McCarthy. But let's read what this man said. He says, 7 years after Cardinals drafted Kyler Murray, with the first overall pick, the two parties appear ready to part ways. Murray has shown promise during his time in Arizona, but he has never quite kicked on as the team has continued to struggle with just one winning season, 9-8 since his arrival. That is not good at all. Not good at all. He showed flashes. So if you think about it, we just won 9 games with J.J. McCarthy, and J.J. McCarthy didn't even play all the games. I'm just saying, y'all. So is he worth taking a chance on? He is talented, though. He said he also is saying injuries have also been a constant theme, which is the same thing with J.J. McCarthy, which is crazy, which carries an element of risk for Minnesota. We already are still only 28 and talented. Murray is a big name option in a year when the draft and free agent quarterbacks crop of lacking many high-end options. Murray's contract is also relatively easy to digest for Arizona, carrying just $17.9 million in dead cap for 2026 if dealt before June 1st, according to Over the Cap. All right. So, and then they said, with the Cardinals set to employ a new head coach and owning the 3rd overall pick in this year's draft, the stars could be aligning for Murray to go to Minnesota. Now, listen, y'all. I'm gonna get to the comments I'm about to get to the comments. When it comes to Kyler Murray, can I just keep it real? Like, I like it, but I'm being honest with you. Because I said the same thing about Sam Darnold, but those are 2 different quarterbacks. One plays off script a lot, one plays on script a lot. One's a little bit more accurate with the football, and that's Sam Darnold. One could be accurate, but he's definitely more athletic than Sam Darnold, but I don't know. One, his mindset is on point when it comes to winning because he's in the dang on Super Bowl. And then one, you're like, I don't know. How bad does he want it? Now, if his mindset is in the game, I'm for Murray, to be honest with you. But I just have a feeling that I don't know, man. I don't think Kyler Murray is Kevin O'Connell's guy, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let me look at the comments real quick before I move on from this. But shout out to everybody that's in the building. Let me look at the comments because I'm like so it's a mystery for me. Those injuries leave their mark. Yup. Bones and tendons don't get stronger when you injure them. It gets easier to re-injure. Yes, re-injure them. Yup. Herbert just got a new OC. There's 0 chance of Yup. Those are like the dream case scenarios. No on both of them. Don't want Murray. I agree. I mean, a lot of people don't want that bull. Murray has an injury problem too. You can't replace the injury problem with another injury. Yeah, I get that. But he would be easy to get. Yeah. Okay. What's going on, Andre? What's good with you? What's going on? Murray can't read defenses. Okay, I like that comment. This is a very good, underrated comment. Because if Murray can't read defenses, see, hey, listen, athleticism doesn't put you over the top. You have the strongest arm, doesn't put you over the top. What about reading the defense? Knowing because that's the one thing. I don't want to bring up Peyton Manning, but I'm going to bring him up for this conversation real quick. Peyton Manning wasn't the most athletic quarterback. We could all agree with that, right? But probably the most intelligent quarterback of all time. Anything that you tried to do, he kind of read and knew what was going to happen before it happened. He was that gifted. He beat defenses with his mind. So that's a good comment right there. He's the backup in Arizona. He can't beat Brissett. Oh wow, for real? Yeah. Purple People Eaters gang here. Look, it doesn't matter what player we get on offense. Kevin O'Connell will ruin every offensive player we get. Oh gosh. Well, you might be right, bro. You might be right. All right, let me get to some more options at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this is another one, Tua. Let me just say this right now. It's a no-go. It's not happening, y'all. If we're trying to keep Brian Flores, Tua is not going to be in the purple and gold. I'm sorry, but I just had to let people know it's not happening. And this man has a brutal injury history because the injury history that he has is concussion after concussion after concussion. I think the man should retire, but the money makes people stay a little bit longer. Because honestly, I don't know. I was like, was it last year or the year before? He had like so many concussions in a short amount of time. span, and it was just like so obvious the man should just sit out for the rest of the season, but he kept coming back. And I'm like, bro, like, what is you doing? So Tua, I don't think is going to be in the purple and gold. All right, so this is what he said. Another first-round pick that appears to be unwanted is Tua. The Dolphins replaced him with rookie quarterback Quinn for the last 3 games of the 2025 season and have since brought in new GM head coach Tua. All right, so I'm not going to really waste too much time on Tua because I just don't think it's happening. So I don't believe Kyler Murray's happening. It could, but I just don't believe it because I don't think that's a Kevin O'Connell quarterback. I don't think that's somebody he would really want, to be honest with you. And Tua's not happening because if you're trying to keep Brian Flores, you're not going to bring in Tua. Like, you're just not going to do that. Don't give Brian Flores the excuse to go to another team. All right, so now this is the realistic one. I'm Mac Jones. Don't act like you don't know my name. Ain't nothing changed but the fame. I'ma stay the same. I'm Mac Jones. So Mac Jones, San Francisco 49ers. Now, I think this is the biggest realistic off-season signing for a quarterback as a backup or potentially a starter if he can beat out J.J. McCarthy. Now, do you think that Mac Jones will beat out J.J. McCarthy as a starter? If we was to trade for Mac Jones, what would you be willing to give up? Are you giving up a third or a second? You're not giving up a first. How high of a pick are you willing to give up for a potential starting quarterback now or backup quarterback? Or however you look at it. Some people are like, nah, Mac Jones ain't the guy. And then some people are like, he's not as bad as you think. Now, let's talk about Mac Jones. So this is what they're saying. This is what the man is saying. Back to San Francisco for Sam Darnold version 2.0. That would be the theory. Unfortunately, unlike Darnold, Jones isn't available for free. The question is what price it would take to pry him from the Niners, especially given Brock Purdy's recent injury history, which is a fact. The 49ers will be reluctant to let Jones leave cheaply. Jones still wasn't looking like the first-round pick he was in the draft when called upon, when the Patriots drafted him. But he looked plenty serviceable after Kyle Shanahan treatment. Now, let me say that again. The last couple of words. Kyle Shanahan treatment. We don't have a Kyle Shanahan. So my question is, just because he looked good with the Niners when he had the opportunity to play when Brock Purdy got hurt, doesn't mean he will look good with the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm not trying to come at Kevin O'Connell, but the one thing that Shanahan loves to do is run that ball with one of the best running backs in the game in McCaffrey. The one thing that Kyle Shanahan loves to do is to use McCaffrey in the passing game, which Kevin O'Connell doesn't like to do. Now, I'm not sure if y'all getting where I'm going with this. I like Mac Jones. Don't act like you don't know my name. Ain't nothing changed but the fame. I'm a mistake. You get what I'm saying? I like Mac Jones. But I'm not giving up a second-round pick for the man. I'm not doing that, and then he doesn't look good. So you had a first-round pick in the 2024 NFL draft that you gave up on pretty much, because I think Mac Jones will probably beat out J.J. McCarthy. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not sure. It's going to be close. And you're giving up a second-round pick. It's like, I don't know, man. That's a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much for me. I don't know. That's why I'm like, I really want to go into 2026 and see what J.J. McCarthy can do. But the problem is this. J.J. McCarthy, his leash is so freaking listen, he has 1 or 2 bad games in a row. Oh my goodness. And if you have Mac Jones on the bench, oh my goodness. I already know. Listen, I'm a Viking fan, and I know Viking fans, a lot of them are not messing with J.J. McCarthy. A lot of them already gave up on J.J. McCarthy. I don't think they should have, but at the end of the day, I get it because we're just trying to win. You know what I mean? I think a lot of fans are overreacting, but at the same time, I can't really say that because there's fans that witnessed 4 Super Bowls and never won one, and they like, yo, we know we're close. We need to get our quarterback. So I get it. All right, so this is what he also said this. The Vikings could once again be the beneficiaries of a quarterback finding their game in San Francisco and counting $3 million against the salary cap next season would keep the Vikings in the cheap at the quarterback position range. Jones is set to be a free agent come 2027, which could lead the 49ers to cash in while they can, which is a very intelligent, proactive move. If they can do it, you might as well do it, right? All right, so that's the number one guy for me. Let me look and see what the comments, which everybody is saying, because I think Mac Jones is more of a, you said Joe Milton. I see Joe Milton in the comments. Like I said, week 6, Kevin O'Connell will be fired no later than week 8. Okay. You might be right, bro. You're definitely right. There are realistic backup quarterbacks out there to compete for the job. Yes, and I'm going to talk about some more. This is just one article, but there's a few that I wanted to really talk about. If you think Mac Jones will best out McCarthy, you have to trade him. That's saying he's the better quarterback. See, I think it'll be close. I'm not necessarily saying that he will beat out J.J. McCarthy, but I feel like it'll be close. It's not going to be like, oh, J.J. McCarthy is just going to win the job. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be a close battle. It's going to be neck and neck. That's how I look at it. Mac Jones is not as bad as people think he is. I just want to just let people know that. Like people think Mac Jones, just because he didn't work out with the Patriots and he didn't plan out. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he's not bad. He's not bad. I'm not saying he's a superstar or a Pro Bowler, but he's not bad. Joe Milton. Look, the Wolves have the girls fire Kevin. They not gonna do that, bro. Hey, listen, they're not firing Kevin O'Connell until after 2026. This is the year they might fire him if they don't improve. All right, so now they're talking about Geno Smith. Listen, bro. I say this respectfully. It's a no, bro. It's a nah, bruh. Hey, listen, you getting the nah, bruh for that. And I'm not saying,
bruh. Nah.
And I'm hitting them with the stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Because I'm not saying that Geno
the cap
is a bad quarterback, but I don't want, no, respectfully, I want some real competition in the room. I want someone, if we was to say J.J. McCarthy, hypothetically speaking, I don't want this to happen. I don't wish this to happen. But say, hypothetically speaking, J.J. McCarthy gets hurt. I'm not the most confident in Geno Smith is going to be able to get us there to the top. Because I look at it like this. Our backup quarterback, for me, is the second most important position on our team. Especially when you have an injury, I don't want to say injury prone, but it's kind of true, though. An injury prone young quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. I feel like you got to have someone, you never really know. Like I said, the Eagles won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Nobody really knew too much about Nick Foles. People would be lying. I knew Nick Foles was that good. I knew he was going to win the Super Bowl for the Eagles when Carson Wentz got hurt. That's cap. That's so big cap, bro.
Stop the cap.
That's cap.
Really. Stop the cap.
I'm from Pennsylvania, and I talk to a lot of Eagle fans, bro. And a lot of Eagle fans were saying we have no chance to win the Super Bowl and then all of a sudden they won. Oh, yeah, he's that guy. Give him the contract. But before he did anything in the playoffs, they were saying the season is over when Carson Wentz went down that season. But my whole point is this. We want to have I want to have excitement for our backup just in case J.J. McCarthy gets hurt. And I want competition. And I don't know about Geno Smith. Now, this is another one. They talking about Anthony Richardson. Oh, my gosh, bro. Hey, listen, bro. No. I'm not even going to read it. I don't even care. I don't care. Respectfully. I'm only saying this because I don't think Kevin O'Connell, he's not the quarterback that Kevin O'Connell will want. I'm telling y'all. I don't think so. I don't believe so. Minnesota loves the acclimation project. He likes projects, but I don't know. We can't afford no projects really for the backup quarterback. I need someone that is a veteran quarterback that could challenge JJ McCarthy. And if he gets hurt, I want to be excited that we still have a chance to make a run. I don't want Anthony Richardson when you don't know what the man is capable of, to be honest with you. A lot of people think he's a bust already. Listen, I ain't going to say all that because I don't really know too much about him and the coach situation. But I'm hearing that nobody believes in Anthony Richardson, unfortunately. They gave up on him, and it is what it is. And Daniel Jones did his thing, and yeah. All right, so, yeah, just because Kwesi likes reclamation projects, he likes to take a chance, which he took a chance on Sam Darnold, and you see how that turned out. I don't know about this one. And Minnesota was said to be very interested in Anthony Richardson during the draft cycle. Yeah, he was. The problem is Richardson hasn't played much more football than McCarthy over the 3 seasons in the NFL. Having suffered a host of injuries, the former 4th overall pick played just 14 total snaps last season. I am cool. I don't want to go this route, so I'm going to just skip over this because I don't think it would be a smart idea. That's just my opinion. It is what it is. Anthony Richardson is not going to happen. It's not happening. I say that respectfully. I'm not trying to come at the young man, but I need a veteran quarterback that can play. I need someone that can play. I don't want to take no more chances, y'all. I don't. Let me look at this comment. Matt Jones is very similar to Darnold. The Patriots with the bad offensive where Shanahan showed what he's capable. Yeah, exactly. But the problem, Mike, we don't have a Kyle Shanahan. That's the issue. They fired Brad Childress in the middle of the year. You can't see the plot. Yes. If we suck, Andre, say we are terrible for the first 5 games and we just look bad, right? Say our offense still looks horrible and Kevin O'Connell's still the play caller. Yes, I can see them doing it, but for at least for the rest of this offseason and for the first 5 games of next season, we going to be with Kevin O'Connell. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. Richardson is a bad quarterback. Also, he's injured himself warming up. You already have yes, exactly. I think is who Kevin O'Connell wanted. Yeah. Remember, he wanted to trade big for him, but Indy also loved him. I get it, bro. I still don't feel like he wants to trade for Richardson. I don't want 2 quarterbacks that are, like my boy Mike said, I don't want 2 quarterbacks that are injury prone. Like I like his athleticism, right? He has supposedly the biggest arm, right? One of the biggest arms in the NFL. But I'm cool. I need a quarterback that knows how to really play, bro. Like I can't go into 2026 with 2 quarterbacks that never played a full season. They never played a full season. JJ McCarthy hasn't played a full season. Richardson hasn't played a full season. I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. What's going on, brother? But I get what you're saying, though. We'll sign Rodgers because Rodgers, what? We about to talk about Rodgers, too. All right, now listen, y'all. We got another article I wanted to talk about. There's another article written by Dustin Baker. All right, so quarterback 2 options for Vikings already recovered from nasty injury. Okay, so this is the quarterback that I want. My number 1 backup. Let me say that again. Backup to McCarthy. See, I want to say backup because I feel like he's a backup. But I wouldn't be surprised if he challenged JJ McCarthy a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and cap. And the quarterback that I'm talking about is Gardner Minshew. Minshew recovered, flips his free agency outlook. So they thought he tore his ACL. Let me read it. So the veteran passer suffered a knee injury last month that was reported to the masses as a torn ACL. But that information was false. How did they mess that up so bad? Minshew is evidently ready to go now. Now, Minshew isn't like, I think a Mac Jones could be a better quarterback. and can actually probably challenge JJ McCarthy, Minshew is a good quarterback too, and I would be excited to see him play. I like the way I think he's he's athletic in my opinion. He can make all the throws in my opinion. I just don't know. I think he'll be actually pretty good in this offense. I think with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, if we keep Jordan Addison, I think he'll be pretty good with a offensive line that's supposed to be healthy this year. Yeah. So how do you feel about Gardner Minshew? You know, I actually was talking about him last offseason. I was talking about Joe Flacco, and I was talking about him as well. Minshew's knee will not be required any procedures to address the season-ending knee injury he suffered in Week 16 and is already back to full strength. Dang, he already back to full strength? So how you go from a ACL tear to now you at full strength already? Get out of here with that. I'm not saying he ain't good, but see, how did they mess that up so bad? Like ACL was like one of the more serious knee injuries. How do you mistake and tell the masses that it's a dang on ACL, and then all of a sudden he's at full strength now? Like, I don't know. Something's just a little iffy about that. Adam Schefter, I mean, people make mistakes, though. Adam Schefter of ESPN reports Minshew missed the final 2 games of the regular season due to a left knee injury, initially reported as a torn ACL, and was then diagnosed with a non-displaced tibial fracture. I don't know how to say that one word, so I'm not going to try. Though Schefter now reports that the veteran quarterback merely suffered a bone bruise. Are you freaking kidding me? So all that. So he really suffered a bone bruise. So he missed all this. He missed the last whatever time. And y'all just now saying all this that it wasn't an ACL. Like something's just weird about it. After having played out the 2025 season on a 1-year, $1.17 million contract with the Chiefs, Minshew will now be fully healthy in time to hit free agency this offseason. If he doesn't reunite with Kansas City Chiefs, Minshew should have little difficulty securing backup role elsewhere in the league. And just like that, quarterback needy teams have another season quarterback 2 option on the menu for March. Now, I think it'll be super cheap. I think he's probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the game. That's just my opinion. And I think with the right system, right offense, which I don't know if we have that, but I'm just saying I like this quarterback. I was talking about him last year. I was talking about him and Joe Flacco, and I'm going to talk about it right now. So I think he will be another option that people don't really talk about. How old is he? I don't even know how old he is. How old is he? Oh, he's only 29. I thought he was a little bit older, but he's 29 years old, 6'1", 225 pounds. He was a 6th-round pick in 2019. Jags drafted him. So he played for the Jags, of course. He played for the Eagles, the Colts, the Raiders, and now the Chiefs. And he might be a Viking as a backup. I would love that. A veteran quarterback that that can play a little bit. You know what I mean? His rookie season, he threw for 21 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, threw for 3,271 passing yards. Right? I like that. I know that was a few years ago, but I'm just saying. What's another good year I can name? And with the Colts in 2023, he played 17 games, 62.2 completion percentage. He threw for 3,305 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So, like I said, he's a solid backup. He's probably one of the most underrated backup quarterbacks right now. Real talk. I would love for him to be in the purple and gold, the backup JJ McCarthy. If the Vikings, this is how I look at it, right? If Crazy, right, in the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, they believe in JJ McCarthy to be the future, the present in the future. This is the backup because this will be a perfect backup quarterback in my honest opinion because he knows how to play. And if something was to happen with JJ McCarthy, you put him in this offense, I think he'll be pretty good. I think he'll be solid / good. You know what I mean? How do y'all feel about Gardner Minshew? Let me look at the comments real quick. Everybody that's in the building, make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are going live for absolutely every Viking game with the scoreboard and everything. And whether you're a Viking fan or not, consider subscribing. This is one YouTube family. Sports so designed to bring us together, not separated. And I truly feel that way. We're also going live for primetime games. Not all, but some. But shout out to everybody that's in the building. Minshew ain't the guy from 6 years ago. He stayed here. Okay. But yeah, that's why I say back up. Just back up. Just back up. Just back up. Just back up, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to get him to be the starting quarterback, be the franchise quarterback. I'm talking about backup, specifically backup for him. Now, when you talk about Mac Jones, that's a different story, though. That's a different story, y'all. You're not going to make that trade for Mac Jones, and he's just going to definitely be a backup. And if he is the backup, short term, I'm talking about Mac Jones. Hey, listen, JJ McCarthy better do his thing. I'm telling y'all, I've been to my first Viking game, week 2 against the Falcons. And those Viking fans don't play games. I got to give a lot of credit to Viking fans because I ain't think it was like that. They said they was booing the crap out of the team. And I'm being, and listen, and well-deserved because our offense was horrible against the Falcons. Look up the Falcons game. When y'all get a chance, look at the highlights of the Falcons game, and you'll understand where I'm coming from and where the fan base was coming from. I wasn't booing. I was disappointed, though. And a lot of people left the stadium. I spent my hard-earned money. So I wasn't leaving the stadium until the game is over. You know what I mean? I wasn't leaving the stadium until the game was over. But I tell you this right now. The Viking fans ain't no joke. Straight up. Viking fans ain't no joke. You trying to set us back even more talking about Minshew? No. See, when I say it's a backup, we need a backup, y'all. I'm not talking about Minshew being the starter. Y'all mistaking me. Y'all think that I want him to be the franchise quarterback. That's not what I'm saying right here. I'm saying in this case scenario, if you believe in J.J. McCarthy to be the franchise quarterback, Minshew would be the backup quarterback. Because we need a backup. We cannot go into 2026 with Max Brosmer and JJ McCarthy. I promise you, Minshew's better than Max Brosmer. That's my opinion. I guarantee he'll be a quality backup. I'm trying to tell you, he's a quality backup, bro. Just a backup. Garoppolo, whatever how you spell. Yes, I wouldn't mind that too, though. I like Garoppolo. Yeah, I like him. But we just talking about backup right now. I'm not talking about starter. When I talk about Mac Jones, when I talk about Kyler Murray, those are dudes that can potentially beat out JJ McCarthy and be the starting, the starting quarterback. I know I've seen some rumors about Zach Wilson and who else did I see? I seen Zach Wilson, somebody else, Anthony Richardson. I don't think that would work. I'm just being honest with you. Zach Wilson, I'm cool on that. Tua, I'm cool on that. I'm even cool on the whole Kyler Murray talk, but I don't think that's the type of quarterback Kevin O'Connor will want, to be honest with you. But I'm just talking about backup right now. You know what I mean? Shout out to Christopher Real in the building. I see you. You need a starter, not a backup. Someone has to compete for the job. Not McCarthy. And yes, I get it, bro. But I'm just going into like the mindset of like, all right, the only guy that I can see that can really beat out like that has a good chance to beat out JJ McCarthy that can potentially like that Kevin O'Connor will actually want to be the quarterback to run this offense will be Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is the guy, honestly. I think it's Mac Jones and then everybody else to be, but unless you're going for Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow, I feel like the biggest name is Mac Jones. He's number one for me. He's number one. I think he'll be able to run this offense. I think this offense will run smooth with a Mac Jones. No, he doesn't have the biggest arm, but I think he's super accurate. I think he's more accurate. I think he's a little bit more athletic than people give him credit for. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he, in this offense, could potentially be pretty good. Other than him, you're not going to, unless you go for Kyler or Joe or Justin, who else can really challenge JJ McCarthy? And you're like, oh, we're going to kick him to the side. I mean, maybe Aaron Rodgers, if you get Aaron Rodgers and you want J.J. McCarthy to sit one more year, but that's the problem, though. Eventually, you're going to have to see if J.J. McCarthy got it because you're pretty much giving up on J.J. McCarthy. If you get Aaron Rodgers and he's the starting quarterback, if you get Aaron Rodgers in the building, he's not coming to be a backup. That man about to retire and go on vacation and sip on coladas and have a good life. You feel me? He ain't trying to go to no professional team and be the backup to a young quarterback. So if you get Aaron Rodgers, you're pretty, in my opinion, you're kind of giving up on J.J. McCarthy because that's another year off of his rookie contract. The whole point of drafting a quarterback is to have him on his rookie contract and be able to spread that money around and try to get a Super Bowl, right? You're not going to know what J.J. McCarthy has if you get an Aaron Rodgers. I love I think it would have been better if we would have done it this year, but we didn't. We went in with J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer and Carson Wentz. So since we didn't, I think a 1 year too late. If you get Aaron Rodgers, I just feel like that's another. You have to see what J.J. McCarthy has. You have to see what he has. Can he play? Can he be healthy? And if you don't give him the opportunity, you might as well just trade him. By the time and then that's the issue. It's like his rookie contract is going to be over before we know it. And we're going to have a big question mark. Is he good enough? Is he the guy? We still don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. So I like Aaron Rodgers talk, but I don't know, man. Let me look at the comments. Yo. Yes, hit the like button, everybody. Hit the like button. Shout out to you, Chris, for real. You can get Mac Jones and Minshew and then let McCarthy find a job somewhere else. Man, hey, listen. If this is the case, shout out to T-Bass in the building. You can get Mac Jones. Yeah. You need to bring someone in to provide competition. Best player start scenario. That's the only way McCarthy would get better. Stop handing him the starting. That's true, though. That's 100% true. I agree with everything you just said. You can't handle the job. So Minshew's not going to challenge him for the job. Like I said, Mac Jones is the number. Can y'all name what's another guy out there besides Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, like the big names that we're not going to get? I don't believe we're going to make a trade for Joe Burrow. I don't believe we're going to make a trade for Justin Herbert. So I'm taking them out the scenario. What quarterback would you be willing to trade for that can challenge J.J. McCarthy for the job? Mac Jones, to me, is the only one I could think that makes a lot of sense because he's still young. He's still in his 20s, right? Mac Jones is still in his 20s. I am a Gurner might return to Chiefs to start for the season. Yeah, I think he might start for the season for the Chiefs because Patrick's probably going to have to sit out a couple of weeks. I don't want to relive the office anymore. No one in the Vikings front office thinks McCarthy is the future. That's why they won't say he is. That's another point. Good point. Shout out to Chris for real. Yes, hit the like button, everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We are going live for every Viking game with the scoreboard and everything, and we're also going live for primetime games as well. So if you're interested, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Thank you so much. What about trading for Spencer Rattler? That's another good young quarterback. Solid quarterback in 2024, but have a good backup with starting experience of 2 years in number. Okay, just as good as McCarthy. So if you want to say Rattler sucks, we'll throw in JJ also. You know what? How are the Saints feeling about Rattler? I don't really know how the Saints feel about him. He had some moments, but I wouldn't mind having a go with Spencer Rattler. But I do agree. I love when you say also have a starting experience backup that, with experience of 2 years. We need that as well. I think that's a great idea, honestly. Spencer Rattler, hey, listen, bring him in. Shoot. Listen, you can't listen. These quarterbacks that come in is if our offensive line is okay and it's healthy, if Christian Darrisaw is healthy, if Brian O'Neill is healthy, if Will Fries is healthy, if Donovan Jackson is healthy. I don't know about the center position, so I don't even know what we're going to do about that. Jake Slaughter, please draft him in the 2026 NFL draft, but we'll get to that later. Now, my whole thing is this. If our offensive line is healthy and Kevin O'Connell figures out that you have to run the ball a little bit more to be successful, especially with young quarterbacks, especially if your running game is averaging 4.5 a carry for the whole entire season, you should run the ball a lot more, especially if you have a top 10 defense behind you. If he can do that, I think who knows what Spencer Rattler can become. Who knows what J.J. McCarthy can become, because I think J.J. McCarthy showed a lot of promise in the last few games of the season. But I just have this feeling that Kevin O'Connell doesn't mess with him like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I said this on my last live a couple of weeks ago. I don't think Kevin O'Connell rocks with J.J. McCarthy. I think he talks a big game. He makes it seem like he rocking with him. But I don't think Kevin O'Connell rocks with him like that. It's just the vibes. It's just how he talks at the press conference when he was talking about simplifying the play calling for his quarterbacks. He seemed like he was depressed in some ways. He seemed like he was sad. He seemed like, dang, bro, you can't run my offense. I've been running this offense with Kirk Cousins. I've been running this offense with Sam Darnold, and we was playing pretty good. Now you come in the game. I mean, we draft you. I'm expecting you to be able to handle this offense, and I got to simplify the offense. And on top of all that, you getting hurt. So I really feel like Kevin O'Connell does not believe in J.J. McCarthy. And this is why this is going to be the most entertaining offseason in probably Minnesota Viking history in a very long time. One of the most. I'll say one of the most. Because we still don't know who our quarterback is going to be. And my boy had a good point. You got to bring in competition that can challenge J.J. McCarthy. You can't just hand him the job anymore. He hasn't earned that right, in my honest opinion. He hasn't earned that. Give him the chance to earn it by beating out the quarterback that we bring in. And if you beat him out, so be it. But we're not just going to hand you the keys to the house and you in and earn it. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. I agree. And that's only going to make him better. That's a wasted roster spot, just like is wasted roster spot. Max Brosmer, man, I don't know what they was thinking. I would take Sage over Brosmer. Sage, oh wow, at this point, and he's washed. I say, oh God. That's how you feel, bro? Dang, y'all don't like Max Brosmer. Hey, listen. And you know what's so bad? We went into the season with Max Brosmer. We went into the season with a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. We went into the season with Carson Wentz, and we just signed this man probably like 3 weeks prior to the season. You know how bad that is? That is not being proactive at all. They was going to go into the season with Sam Howell. They seen, and I said this once, I'm going to say it again because it's funny to me. They seen Sam Howell play one preseason game. Just one. And they let him go. Y'all remember that? They let him go. That was so funny. That was so funny. You can't make this stuff up. The NFL is supposed to be a cutthroat league. McCarthy can't stay healthy and only has a few games. Fans should want him replaced. If he can't hang on, not to see if he works out. Yes, that's true. That's true. If you can't stay healthy, which injuries ain't his fault, it just happens. But like you right though, if you can't be healthy, bro, and listen, the whole age thing, I'm tired of hearing the age thing. Oh, he's super young. Well, let me give you an example of another young quarterback that's playing pretty good, and he's in our division. I don't even gotta go. We could talk about Caleb Williams, and I hate to say this, y'all. He the best quarterback in our in my opinion, he's the best quarterback in our division. Maybe Jordan Love is second. Jared Goff is up there too. I like Jared Goff. People don't like Jared Goff. I like Jared Goff. Right now, we in last place when it comes to the quarterback because we don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. We don't have no clue what J.J. McCarthy is. We've seen moments, but you can't, even if you're the biggest J.J. McCarthy supporter, you cannot say with a straight face, you probably could, but I'm just going to say, for this conversation, right? You can't say that he should be the starting quarterback after just this last season you just witnessed. with a straight face. You can't say that because it's like he missed so many games. And it's like he did have some good moments. He had some bad moments as well. But then I always go, and I don't really blame J.J. McCarthy for a lot of his bad moments. I don't take all the responsibility away from him, but I don't blame him too much because I know our head coach doesn't like his play calling is horrible. Horrible. J.J. McCarthy is the new, oh, man. You know what? Tavares Jackson passed away, right? R.I.P. to Tavares Jackson. Yeah. We need a quarterback challenge, Kevin O'Connell play call. Yes, and I know for a fact you want Aaron Rodgers because you know Aaron Rodgers is going to challenge him. All right, I'll tell you all the quarterbacks are going to challenge him. Besides Aaron Rodgers, if we was to get Joe Burrow, he's going to challenge his play calling. If we get Justin Herbert, he's going to challenge his play calling. Besides those three, which we're not getting Joe Burrow, we're not getting Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers could be a possibility. But like I said, if you get Aaron Rodgers, you might as well just trade J.J. McCarthy and just say you don't believe in him because that's another year, have him sit behind another quarterback. And it's like, dang, so we wasting his whole rookie contract is going to be gone before you know it. Before you know it. So, I mean, but I agree. I feel like people should. The thing about it is J.J. McCarthy's not going to challenge his play calling. You know what I mean? He's not going to audible out of a bad play. Hey, Kevin O'Connell. Hey, J.J. McCarthy, I need you to do a triple reverse and try to hand it off to T.J. Hockenson and then have T.J. Hockenson throw a pass to C.J. Ham to the end zone. It's like he'll call something like that. You know what I mean? I'm joking, but that's something that he might get. He might come up with a play and say, we're going to do a triple reverse handoff to the wide receivers, and somehow it's going to get to T.J. Hockenson, the tight end. He's going to throw it to the end zone. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad. The Vikings have given up on McCarthy. They just can't say it because then it costs them more to find up. Yes, exactly. Nina said exactly. And I've been saying this, Mike. I've been saying it. I've been saying that Kevin O'Connell does not believe in him for a minute now. I've been saying this, bro. I've been saying it. No one trading for injury prone quarterback. Yeah, that's true. Let me see. The problem is challenging Kevin O'Connell play calling audible. Yes, there's not many quarterbacks that would challenge that. Besides like an Aaron Rodgers and the quarterbacks I just named. J.J. McCarthy ain't going to challenge his play calling. Max Brosmer's not going to challenge his play calling. Actually, Carson Wentz, I think, would challenge, but we don't, respectfully speaking, I'll keep Carson Wentz as the third string quarterback, but he can't be the second string quarterback. Try to get Cooper Rush for cheap. You know what? That's a possibility. I like that. Saints have their starting quarterback. Oh, okay. That's who it is. Also, Spencer Rattler. Okay. I will wait 1 year and trade for Arch Manning for the future. Near the dude Ken Paul. Okay. Hey, listen. Then that's why if you happen to trade a Jordan Addison, that's another conversation. If you trade Jordan Addison, you try to get 2027 draft picks. Whatever you try to trade, like if someone wants to trade up, you try to like, listen, I'll take 2027. Give me 2027 stuff so I can move up in the draft or whatever. You know what I mean? But Davis Mills, another decent to a good quarterback for the Vikings. Okay. Quarterback ain't the problem. Kevin O'Connell. Yes, I agree, Andre. We need a vet to change the stupid plays. Yeah, I agree, bro. I've been trying to say that for a minute, bro. Honestly, like it or not, non-biased, Rattler probably has a better arm than mechanics at this point. Oh, wow. Hey, if you believe that, bro, I hope it does happen, though. I think that's a great idea to go get a Spencer Rattler. I would have loved it. I got to do some more research on Spencer Rattler. So thank you for bringing him up because I think that's a good, I would love to see that. I want competition. I don't want it to be this boring off season where it's like, all right, we know for a fact J.J. McCarthy is going to be the starting quarterback and Max Brosmer is the second string. And we just, listen, we can't do it. We can't do that. We can't. Kevin O'Connell can adjust or adapt. No, he can't. Signs of a turn. And I've been saying that. Listen, man, every top coach that we go against, he gets outcoached. He gets outcoached. And like I said, if it wasn't for a defense, we would have only won 2 games. Quarterback to go get Malik Willis. That's another one. Quarterback to go get is Malik Willis. That's another one. I keep hearing about Malik Willis as well. That's another one. Good point. Good point. Brosmer was a 3rd-string quarterback, a project quarterback. It's the Vikings' fault for he was the backup. Like, yeah, it's the Vikings' fault. But at the same time, yeah, it's not. I'm not trying to come at Max Brosmer, but it's like, dang, you JJ McCarthy got hurt. Then Carson Wentz got hurt. And then you had to put Max Brosmer in when he wasn't ready. And the same thing goes for JJ McCarthy. You didn't want to give Sam Darnold the bag, right? You wasn't aggressive enough to keep Sam Darnold. So you let him go, and JJ McCarthy wasn't ready. And that's just the facts. He wasn't ready, and he keeps getting injured. And it wasn't even just that. It was, I think it's a combination of, let me rephrase what I just said. JJ McCarthy wasn't ready, and Kevin O'Connell wasn't ready to develop a young quarterback, to have the adjustments play calling wise to match the skill set of JJ McCarthy. You can't coach JJ McCarthy as if he is Sam Darnold. And I keep saying that, but Kevin O'Connell is the most stubborn head coach. And listen, hey, if my offense got us this many wins in 2024, you should be able to do this as well. No, bro. Completely different quarterbacks. And on top of that, you're talking about a rookie pretty much. A second-year quarterback that hasn't played a game until 2025 NFL season. So you're going to, it's just, I don't know. So let me rephrase what I be saying. When I say JJ McCarthy wasn't ready, it's JJ McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell wasn't ready. Let me just say both of their names, not just JJ McCarthy, because both of them wasn't ready. Yeah, 2 project quarterbacks. Exactly, 2 project quarterbacks, and they wasn't proactive enough. Listen, Max Brosmer should have been on the practice squad. We should have had another veteran backup. It should have been JJ McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and maybe even give me another backup quarterback that's decent. But they went into this season, they just messed up everything, man. This was the worst decisions I have ever seen being a Viking fan. Like, real talk. And what makes it bad, because you see a quarterback in 2024 draft in the Super Bowl in his second year. That's what makes it bad. I'm not saying JJ McCarthy's Drake May, because we know that ain't the case. Let's keep it real. But what I am saying is this. You also got rid of Sam Darnold, and he was in your building. And he's in the Super Bowl. So you got a quarterback in the 2024 NFL draft that's in the Super Bowl. And you also got the quarterback that you didn't want to give the bag in the Super Bowl. So you got a double whammy. So either way it goes, you got a young quarterback that's 23 years old that might win the Super Bowl. And then the quarterback that you let go is about to win the Super Bowl, possibly. And now what makes it all bad is the quarterback that you have, you don't know if he's good enough. You don't know if he's the guy. You're struggling to find a way to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Anytime an offensive-minded head coach has an issue to find one of the best wide receivers in the game, you have an issue to get him the ball. We have an issue, y'all. And like my bull said, it's not a quarterback issue necessarily. It's a coaching issue. It's a bigger coaching issue than a quarterback issue. Because like I said, we could have Sam Darnold and we would not be in the Super Bowl right now. And I'm a Viking fan saying that. We would not be in the Super Bowl. If we had Sam Darnold, I don't feel like we would have been in the Super Bowl. Because the one thing about the Seahawks, yeah, they got I think they got their defense and our defense is similar, right? But the one thing about them is they run the ball. If it's successful, they run the ball. I've seen the Seahawks, but they ran it like 6-7 times in a row, bro. Kevin O'Connell would never do that. If it's working, why get away from it? If it's working, why throw the ball when you could just run it? The easiest play, in my opinion, is just to hand the ball off and let your offensive line create a hole, especially if it's working. Kevin O'Connell, he can get, I'm not making this up, y'all. This is a true story. I don't forget what game it was. It was like 2 rushes in a row for back-to-back first downs. I think it was Aaron Jones, both of them first down. I think he rushed for like 20 yards on whatever and got a first down. And then we rushed it again and got another first down. Or it was like a 9-yard carry. It was like in like 2 carries, almost like 30 yards in like 2 carries. It was really good. We started off really well. Then all of a sudden, guess what Kevin O'Connell did? He said, oh, it's too successful right there. The run game is too successful. We got to start throwing the ball again. And that's when things went bad. That's literally when things went bad. Because when you're destroying them on the ground, why get away from it? Yes, I know you try to trick them up, maybe play action, et cetera, et cetera. But let your offensive line been banged up all season long. Let them do some damage and create some holes and push some dudes around. Your offensive line's been doing their thing running the ball. Pass blocking is the issue. But let me get to the comments. How excited would you be with a rookie quarterback, his first 2-year stat line? Don't say it. All right. Stat line, 5,889 yards, 36 touchdowns, 28 interceptions, 80.9 quarterback rating. Don't want to say the name or team. Who you talking about? T-Bass? T-Bass, who you talking about, bro? I'm curious. If Carson Wentz didn't get hurt, we would be all right. Kevin O'Connell play calling got Wentz hurt. Yeah, man. And protecting your quarterback, you protect your quarterback by running the ball as well. Just put that out there. When you run the ball successfully and you run the ball, it protects your quarterback as well. You can't protect your quarterback from everything, but that's like I always say, the best friend of a quarterback besides a good offensive line is a running back. I'm talking about that's bigger than a tight end. That's bigger than a wide receiver. The running backs, if you got one of them good running backs or great running backs, they can catch. They can not only catch, of course, they can run and they can block. They can do it all. Like McCaffrey, for example. That man had one of some of the best hands. McCaffrey, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who that is. But he can catch. He can block. He's a very good runner. His vision, speed, agility, very good running back. When you have that, man, Lamar Jackson was 21 when he started, and he's a 2-time MVP. Gosh, Lee. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. I mean, I didn't know he was 21 when he started, though. But everybody keep using the age, and I'm like, yes, who cares about the age right now? We're not worrying about age. We worrying about him developing and being able to stay on the football field. But on top of that, what I'm worried about more than anything is play calling and the coaching and developing. I'm tired of this. We got a worst coach in our division. JJ did. Yeah, you know, Seahawks appreciate the franchise quarterback. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure the Seahawks appreciate it, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. Listen, I'm not cheering against Sam Darnold. I'm actually cheering for Sam Darnold. But, like, it's so bad, though. Like, being a Viking fan that hasn't witnessed one Super Bowl, I never witnessed the Vikings get into a Super Bowl. So, when you get rid of a quarterback that actually goes to another franchise and wins another 14 games, and then he actually gets to the Super Bowl, it's a sucky feeling, bro. Because it's just like, dang. And you still don't know you still have a mystery about your quarterback. Lamar is a choke artist in the playoffs. Yeah, Lamar, yeah. But to be honest with you, there's only one winner every year. Everybody, there's only one winner. That's why I got so much credit. I give so much credit to Tom Brady. I give so much credit for like Joe Montana and all the quarterbacks that got multiple Super Bowls. Like Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes. Like, because for people, like, man, Patrick Mahomes making people the AFC was ran by Patrick Mahomes. I like Josh Allen. I like Joe Burrow. I like Lamar Jackson, but it was ran by one quarterback. Just like when Tom Brady was in the AFC, he was making these dudes like, man, I can't stand the Patriots. I can't stand Tom Brady. It wasn't because we just don't like Tom Brady. It's because, well, people probably don't like him, but it's because he won so dang on much. That's what I want the Vikings to be. I want us to win so much that people be like, I can't stand the Vikings. I can't stand J.J. McCarthy. I can't stand them because they keep winning. I want that. I want that feeling to get the 3 Super Bowls and win them. I want that feeling to get the 6 Super Bowls and win them. I want that feeling, y'all. I want teams from the conference to be like, man, I want our division to feel it, the NFC North. I want our whole conference to feel it. Oh, I can't stand the Vikings. Yeah, J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings just keep winning Super Bowls, man. I want that feeling, y'all. It's crazy, man. There's only one winner, but this is why the Super Bowl is so amazing, because it's like everybody be losing, bro. Like, there's only one real winner. Not to say that great quarterbacks, there's still great quarterbacks, there's still great players. Randy Moss, to me, is the greatest wide receiver of all time. He doesn't have one Super Bowl. But what I'm saying is, man, when you get that one, you just gotta we gotta start with one. Before I even start thinking about multiple Super Bowls, we gotta get one. Now, I mean, not even think like that. Lamar, that's what Sam Darnold's stat line. Oh my gosh, bro. Don't do that. T-Bass. That was Sam Darnold's stat line, yet people say he sucked. Wow. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Let me see that again. Dang. Are you serious? Hey, listen, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, man. That was Sam Darnold. Read that. Peyton Manning was a choker at same age as Lamar. He was 0-5. Yeah, Peyton. Yeah, he and the reason why he couldn't get over the hump, I think it was because of Tom, bro. Like, it's kind of like the Michael Jordan effect. Like, there's a lot of great NBA players that don't got a championship because Michael Jordan was in their way. I think Tom Brady was in their way. Like, that's just how I feel. I feel like Tom Brady was in their way. And Bill Belichick. Let's put Bill Belichick. And by the way, let me talk about Bill Belichick. How is Bill Belichick not a first ballot? Because somebody tell me how debatably the greatest head coach of all time is not first ballot. Now, as a Viking fan, I'm just trying to get one. I'm going to tell you this right now. Once the Vikings win one Super Bowl, whoever the coach is, whether it's Kevin O'Connell or somebody else, I'm going to say they're first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't care. So if I'm saying it about a one-time Super Bowl champion in the future, you know what I'm saying? How could you not say that about a 6-time Super Bowl winning head coach? And my whole thing is, my head coach that finally gets us over the top doesn't have a chance to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Bill Belichick is a 6-time Super Bowl champion head coach, that defense, I know people, I understand people want to put Tom Brady against Bill Belichick and the other way around. I know Tom won without Bill Belichick, but Tom Brady probably wouldn't have won those Super Bowls without Bill Belichick earlier on in his career. That's, you know what I mean? I hate trying to take away a lot from Bill Belichick. Oh, he had Tom Brady. Do y'all forget how good that defense was for many years? People forget how good Bill Belichick's defense was. For most of the time when he was in New England, I'm pretty sure most of the seasons his defense was top 10. Most of every season. And I always say his defense wins championships. And that's why he has 6. Most of those Super Bowls was because of defense. Yes, you got to have offense to score. I get it. Yes, he has Tom Brady. But how many games did the Patriots win off of a field goal, and that defense was holding it down, and that offense wasn't doing too much offensively? They just did enough to win. I got to do my research on all the scores and all that. But I know for a fact Bill Belichick's defense was one of the greatest defenses for many years. And I just really feel like this makes the Hall of Fame kind of look like a joke when it comes to the voters. I mean, not the Hall of Fame in general. I'm just talking about like the voters. I feel like Bill Belichick must have said something to you. He might have canceled on an interview with you. He probably said, nah, no thank you, I'm cool. And you got in your feelings and you went against Bill Belichick. This is unacceptable for a guy that has 6 Super Bowls, a head coach. He's like Phil Jackson of the NBA, bro. And you're telling me he's not a first ballot? How? Make it make sense to me. Oh, well, he had Tom Brady. That's the only reason why he has 6 Super Bowls. That's how you really feel? So just because he has Tom Brady, that's the only reason why he has 6 Super Bowls? That's it's a big part, I will admit, but that's not the only reason why Bill Belichick has 6 Super Bowls. And this is why I keep on trying to tell people, stop trying to take away from people's success. If it wasn't for Bill Belichick, do you think Tom Brady would have all the Super Bowls he has? Let's keep it real. Come on, people gotta stop doing it. And I don't know if this because of the voters. I don't know if the voters were thinking like that. Oh, well, he had Tom Brady. That's why anybody could win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. I don't know what they were thinking. What's their thinking process? What did Bill Belichick do to you? What did he say to you? Because I don't understand. It's a big mystery. I'm gonna need the comment. I'm gonna need people from in the comment section to let me know how this even happens. How is a 6-time Super Bowl winning head coach not first ballot? So Belichick fell short of the 40 out of 50 votes needed for induction to the Pro Football Hall of Fame during his first year. That's crazy. Like, how? This is what Bill Belichick said. This is what he said. All right, so several sources who spoke with the coach over the weekend described Belichick as puzzled and disappointed, as he should. They're saying he said 6 Super Bowl isn't enough with a question mark. That's what Bill Belichick said. He asked an associate, referring to the championships he won as a head coach of the New England Patriots. He said he won 2 more as defensive coordinator of the New York Giants. So he actually has. Oh, he was a defensive coordinator of the New York Giants, and won 2 more. Wow, that's crazy. To another associate, he said, what does a guy have to do? So what does he have to do? Another source familiar with Belichick's thinking said politics kept him out. He doesn't believe this is a reflection on his accomplishments. And I'm 100% with him. Politics. Whatever it was, somebody or some people said, well, we're going to make sure he's not first ballot. We're going to stick it to him when he counts the most. He didn't give us an interview 10, 30 years, 20 years ago. And he thought his head was so big and he didn't have to. Like, I don't know who it was, bro. It's so disappointing to see that. And this is why when I be seeing like all-time great players that don't get in first ballot, like, take the personal stuff away. How was that player on the field? How was that coach? How successful was he? He got 6 Super Bowls. How does he not? I'm so confused. The Pro Football Hall of Fame does not comment on voting of the selection committee. Awaits the unveiling of class of 2026. NFL honors February 5th in San Francisco. A spokesman for the Hall said in a statement. Yeah, they need to put the names. I want to know the names of everyone that went against Bill Belichick. I want to know the names. Straight up. The The 98 Vikings defense was trash. The offense covered that up most of the year until the championship game. Yeah. Yeah. Kevin O'Connell, you tripping. Andre, there is an X mark. Yeah, X mark this picture. It says 0-2. Yeah, yeah. Bill wasn't good like that. When seeing what happened when Brady left, come with the facts, bro. Before you challenge me, I kick facts. What? So Bill Belichick wasn't that good when you seen that happen when Brady left. Well, that's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But before he was one of the greatest of all time, the defense carried the offense. The defense carried the offense for a good portion of like them winning Super Bowls. It wasn't Tom Brady was still a good quarterback, but he wasn't this all-time, all-world quarterback right away. That defense was a very big part, man. Very big part. And I understand people use that as like, oh, well, since Tom Brady left and won more Super Bowls, that means Bill Belichick wasn't good. How does that make any sense? Because just because he left and won Super Bowls and Bill Belichick didn't, doesn't mean that Bill Belichick wasn't a good coach. I mean, how does that really make sense? I mean, because if you look at it, right, because we could play that game. If Bill Belichick didn't have one of the greatest defenses for many years, how far would the Patriots get in those Super Bowl Super Bowl runs? How good would Tom Brady be without that good defense? I understand Tom won without Bill. I get it. But I just can't, for me, I just can't take away from an all-time great coach just because, he didn't win without Tom. It's hard. Tom's the greatest quarterback of all time. There's not many Tom Brady's, but there's not many Bill Belichick. All right, so if that's the case, then Tom Brady should have won 6 more Super Bowls then. He should have won 6 more Super Bowls if that's the case. Or 5 more. How many Super Bowls did he win without Bill? So he needs to win 5 more. He won 1 without Bill, right? So go win another 5 without Bill. I mean, he went to a good team. Tom went to a very good team. It's not like I just don't want to take away from Bill just because Tom won another Super Bowl away. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. I'm not taking nothing from Bill. Head coach of the Browns was winning in the 90s. Then Art destroyed the Vine when they announced the Browns were moving to Baltimore. Oh, wow. Wow. Facts are he didn't get to trade Tom when he wanted, which sat the team back. Tom went to a team that was a quarterback. Exactly. It's not like he didn't go to a team that didn't have talent, bro. Like people, I get it. Tom won another one without Bill. People say, oh, well, Bill's not a good coach now. What? Did y'all forget how good the defense was? Do people really forget how good that defense was with Teddy Bruschi and the guys? Y'all forgot that quick? Man. I mean, it's all good. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Probably most of you don't remember Jim Marshall playing, but for him not to be in the Hall of Fame is the whole. And listen, I don't understand. I think it's like a personal thing, man. I feel like people just have some personal, like, I don't know, man. People take so many things personal. And there was a few people that said, oh, yeah, Bill Belichick was mean to me years ago. He hurt my feelings. I'm not going to vote him in. Like, get out of here with that bull crap. Stop being soft, man. Let that man be in. He should be a first ballot because I promise you, Tom Brady would not have 7 Super Bowls without Bill Belichick. He would not have. He might have a couple, and that's the debate. Tom Brady probably wouldn't be Tom Brady without him. The same goes the other way around. Bill Belichick probably wouldn't be one of the greatest coaches of all time if it wasn't for Tom Brady as well. Like they come together. It was a perfect match. You can't have one without the other. Like for them to be this great, I just hate when people try to take away from one of them. Oh, well, this person wasn't good because he had this person, or this person wasn't good because he had this person. I mean, they both were great. Tom is an all-time great, and Bill's an all-time great. Why can't we have both? Right? And then on top of that, you can say the same thing about Andy Reid. Andy Reid was already an all-time great head coach, in my opinion. When it comes to the offensive-minded head coaches that ever was a coach in the NFL, Andy Reid had those Eagles always doing some great things offensively. He just couldn't win the Super Bowl. But he always had the offense looking amazing. Do y'all remember what McNabb was doing? I know McNabb later in his career wasn't the best, but McNabb and those offenses that the Eagles had, getting to NFC championship games, always getting to the playoffs, but they couldn't get over the hump. And then he went to the Chiefs. He found Patrick Mahomes. They drafted Patrick Mahomes. So what we're going to do is, since he had to go to another team to win a Super Bowl, Andy Reid isn't a good coach. So if Patrick Mahomes goes to a whole other team and wins the Super Bowl, that means Andy Reid's not a good coach anymore? I disagree with that. Bill Belichick had success prior to the New England Patriots being a defensive coordinator for the Giants, like we just read. So that's all I'm saying. Like, Patrick Mahomes probably wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes if it wasn't for Andy Reid. And the other way around, when it comes to greatness, for them to win the Super Bowl is so hard to win, bro. One of the hardest things you could probably debate when it comes to any sport, NBA. I'm not taking nothing away from the NBA championship. I'm not taking nothing away from the World Cup. I'm not taking nothing away from the World Series. But Super Bowl is probably harder to win than any of them. It's probably harder to win that than any of them. Just my opinion. Yes, hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Patriots team was getting old and falling apart when Brady left. Yeah. When Brady left. Exactly. But listen, Bill Belichick is a heck of a coach, y'all. Because Belichick got overruled on trading time when he wanted to. Tom was great. Yeah. Tom is great. Great quarterback, but Bill's a great head coach. I'm pretty sure if you was to go talk to Tom right now, and you say, would I have won 7 Super Bowls, right? And if you take Bill Belichick away, do you think he'll win 7 Super Bowls? Do you think Tom Brady would say that? I don't think he would. I would think one of the biggest parts of winning a lot of his success, most of his success was with who? Bill Belichick. And you take Bill Belichick away. That's like taking Phil Jackson away from the Lakers when they had Kobe Bryant and Shaq. You think they're going to win those? They had great players. You going to win though? You still need a coach. You take Phil Jackson away from the Chicago Bulls when they had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Yeah, they might still win, but they probably not going to win like that. There's a difference. You still need a coach. So you have to keep running it back because you're forced to. Yup. Brady went to a very good team at the time. Yeah, exactly, T-Bass. He went to a very good team and won a Super Bowl with just like my bull Mike said, a quarterback away, literally. But to say that, like, I can understand if Tom won like 5 more Super Bowls. Oh yeah, man, it'd have been just Tom Brady. He won 1 without Bill Belichick, and it wasn't like he went to a team that wasn't talented, that wasn't pretty good, that was just needed a quarterback away. They had a lot of dogs on defense and offense. He was just the missing piece. Bill is below average. Bill is a defensive coordinator using Bill Parcells' defense. Oh, I don't agree with that, brother. But yeah, we're going to have to agree to disagree with that. It's like saying Bill Walsh wasn't a good coach because of Montana. Yeah, bro. What? Tom Brady was old when he left. If he would have left younger, yeah, Brady would have won. He would have won 5 more Super Bowls? Yeah, Super Bowls are hard to win, bro. As a Viking fan, I know this. It ain't that easy. Brady chose to stay longer. That's he got crap too. Yes, the override bill wanting to trade him. Fact. I did hear about those rumors too. What do you think Deion Sanders and Charles Haley has so many Super Bowls, championships, played, jump around, and took your services to loaded teams? Yeah. Bill was jealous of Tom. All right, but what I don't want to do is put this is not the conversation I want to have when it comes to this. What I'm saying is Bill should be a first ballot. That's just my opinion. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are agreeing with me. And Andre, if you can agree to disagree with me, but Bill, look up the numbers and look up how many years when Tom Brady was the quarterback of the Patriots, how many years was the defense top 10? And come back to me. Now, if the defense ain't top 10 and the defense is in the 20s, okay, it was all Tom. It was Bill Belichick did nothing. It was all Tom Brady. But I guarantee you that defense was top 10 most of those seasons. I guarantee you that is a fact. Bill Belichick should be a first ballot, in my opinion. He got 6 because of Bill. The one in Temple don't count. Yeah, I don't want to say it don't count. Grizz. It does count, but he got most of his success was with Bill. And we can't go, oh, if he was younger, he would have kept going. Well, it took him all that time to get the Super Bowls. It takes time. That's why I said, it's not as easy to win a Super Bowl. You can't stay 20 for 30 years straight. You're going to get older. It took all that time for him to get those 6 Super Bowls. But like I said, maybe later in the, when it comes to the later Super Bowls, maybe 2 other Super Bowls, I will admit, Tom Brady was controlling a lot of it, right? But I'm talking about the early on Super Bowls. It was defense, bro. And Corey Dillon running the ball. They was playing great defense, and Corey Dillon and that offensive line was creating holes for the running backs. And man, bro, it was defense, bro. I'm telling you. Tom Brady was just manage the game, don't turn the ball over, and be Tom Brady when it counts. But we don't need you to do too much because our defense is all that in the bag of chips. Bro, we can't take away from Bill Belichick because Tom Brady won 1 Super Bowl away from the Patriots. I don't, in my opinion, I don't see Tom Brady winning 6 Super Bowls without Tom Brady. Give him the Super Bowl with Tampa. How many Super Bowls he going to win? So he got 1. How many more do you think he's going to get without Bill Belichick? That's the real question. You take Bill Belichick. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm almost guaranteed that Tom Brady would say, I would not be where I'm at. I would never have won those many Super Bowls if it wasn't for Bill Belichick. I'm pretty sure he would admit to it. I'm pretty sure. And it sounds like you're jealous of Bill's good. Deflate gate. Yeah, that's the only thing. The deflate gate, spy gate. But let me say this about the spy gate stuff, bro. Because if we gonna play that game, I'm a Viking fan, bro. That whole freaking bounty gate, let's talk about it. That bounty gate was way worse than all of that. Because even if you do the spy gate, you might know the place. You study film anyway, but you might spy and you might know what's happening. Doesn't mean you can stop it. That bounty gate, they were trying to hurt my players, bro. They were trying to hurt the Viking players, bro. Did you see what they was doing to Brett Favre? When Brett Favre would get tackled, you had defensive linemen or whatever pulling on his ankle, trying to twist his ankle, trying to step on him, trying to do this and that, going low, trying to hurt and take people's knees out. Bro, that's way worse than Spygate. The Deflategate, I'm not really too like what they deflated the football a little bit. I get all that. I get that. I'm pretty sure there's some things that we don't know throughout NFL history that we could go down the list. I'm pretty sure they just didn't get caught. When it comes to Spygate, I don't really know too. Like, listen, you might know some plays, but you're not gonna know it all. And even if you know it, doesn't mean you're gonna stop it. Deflategate can help you probably throw the football, but then that's taken away from Tom Brady too. He's throwing the ball. Who's in charge of that? Was it Bill Belichick? Was it Tom with the Deflategate? You know what I mean? But who was in charge of the Bounty Gate? Who was in charge of that? Trying to purposely injure my players. But did they take nothing away from that Super Bowl? It didn't take nothing away from the same Super Bowl. They still got it. That's some bull crap. That's some bull crap. Look, listen, the Vikings should have won that dang on game. Straight up. We should have won that game and went to the Super Bowl. Real talk. I don't care. That's how I feel. I'm sorry. You got me feeling some type of way, Grizz. Because I'm thinking about that bull crap. They try to purposely hurt Brett Favre, bro. Brett Favre was playing decent. Adrian Peterson kept fumbling the freaking ball, but Adrian Peterson got, I don't even want to get into it. Bro. That's why I've been telling Vikes fans, like, it's Harrison Smith has a big uphill battle to get in the Hall of Fame without a championship. And that's the unfortunate truth. Like, because I always say this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree. Just because you ain't win a Super Bowl doesn't mean you don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. There's so many great players that never won a Super Bowl. But when you win the Super Bowl and you're great, it puts you on another level. It does put you on another level. I will admit to that. But that doesn't take away from players like Harrison Smith, in my opinion, or Terrell Owens, or Randy Moss, or Dan Marino. I'm pretty sure Dan Marino's in the Hall of Fame. But y'all get where I'm going with this. Even when you talk about basketball, when you talk about Tracy McGrady, y'all remember who T-Mac is? Do people remember who Yao Ming is? Do people remember Vince Carter? Do people remember Charles Barkley? I could keep going down the freaking list. That does not mean that these players ain't great, but we're going to talk about the Football Hall of Fame because I feel some type of way about the Football Hall of Fame because there ain't no freaking way that Bill Belichick shouldn't be first ballot. I'm sorry, y'all. That's how I feel. It's bull crap. It is straight up bull crap that Bill Belichick isn't a first ballot. Who's more well-deserved than Bill Belichick for a coach that isn't already in the Hall of Fame? Who? Name one. What, you going to put Andy Reid in front of him when he retires? No. He beat Andy Reid head-to-head in the Super Bowl. He beat Andy Reid head-to-head. You know how I give so much praise to, I give so much compliments to Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive-minded head coaches? What shut that down? That defense that Bill Belichick had. That defense, bro. Even with Terrell Owens doing his thing. People forget how good Terrell Owens is. Yeah, you can say what you want to say about the off-the-field stuff, maybe. And he, just a little bit of a clown for the most part when it comes to certain things. But that man was very good on the football field. Very good on the football field. I don't know, man. And I agree with this comment, though. It sucks because how do players, who's the guys that are voting? Who are the people that are voting? They need to make sure whoever votes, whatever they vote, it should be on the internet. If you vote nah or yay, it should be on the internet, and we should be able to know who voted yes or no. That's my opinion. And that's my final answer when it comes to that. If you vote no, I want to know who said no. If you vote yes, I want to know who said yes. Straight up. That's how I feel. What's up, DFJ? Look at 81 interceptions, still a record. Yeah, it took him 6 times to get in the Hall. It's bull crap. How? Now, that's why I said you got to kiss a lot of butt. Excuse my language, y'all. You might have to kiss some butt because, because you're trying to get to the Hall of Fame. But no, my pride's going to say no. My numbers speak for themselves. My production on the field speaks for themselves. I don't got to beg you to get into the Hall of Fame when my numbers do the talking for me. My play did the talking for me. That's bullcrap. It's bullcrap. There's no reason why dudes take that many times to get in. It's bullcrap. My boy, Kevin Williams. I'm hoping he makes it in. I know he was one of the finalists. I hope he make the announcement. I hope Kevin gets in. But I don't know if he's going to get in, bro. I love Kevin Williams. One of my favorite defensive tackles in Minnesota Viking history, bro. One of the players that I grew up watching. And I don't know if he's going to make it. I think it's well-deserved. But, you know. I'm taking away from Bill like I'm taking greatness from Pop. Pop should have left when Tim Duncan retired. You gotta when you step away from your legacy wouldn't be challenged. Nah, but then you gotta go like this though, bro. Like I understand when Tim you talking about the Spurs, when Tim left, like, you know, he still had a lot left in his opinion. So if you love the game like you love the game, it's not, I don't think it should take away from your resume because you're not winning, because you already won 5. He won 5. So just because you can't win every year, it's so hard to be a champion. It's not as easy. You know what I mean? Like, say you love a game, right? Say you're an all-time coach, and you have an all-time great pitcher, and his name is Cole Hamels. You know, I'm a Phillies fan. And you won 3 World Series with Cole Hamels, and then he retires. But you still feel like you can coach. You might not win, but that doesn't take away from your resume that you won 3 World Series with Cole Hamels. You just got to find another Cole. It's easier said than done. You got to go find another all-time good pitcher, or find something else. So find some good hitters. Find a good first baseman, a good outfielder, a good left fielder, a good right fielder. But I don't think it should take away from your resume. It's so hard to win. It's enough that you already won. How many times you won? 5 championships in the NBA. Being a head coach is there's not many coaches in the NBA through history that have won championships, bro. You win some, you lose some, but you got to get credit for the times that he coached. It wasn't just Tim. Tim was the biggest part, but you got Tony Parker, you got Manu Ginobili. It's drafting, it's developing. You got to put that those are all factors. And then they drafted Kawhi Leonard. Like, bro, like it is other factors, but you need to have the coach to put it all together. Like, it's kind of like if you have like a 5-star restaurant and you the executive chef, or you got a sous chef, you got a head chef, you the executive chef, you putting it all together to make sure that restaurant's on point. But you the main guy, because you're the guy that's, yo, you do this, you in charge of this, you in charge of this, I'm in charge of everything. But I'm going to make sure this and that and the third is going to be taken care of, so we can have a great night and we have good reviews, good ratings and we have more customers come. Because, you know, word of mouth is the best when it comes to that. But I'm just saying, you can't take away from someone that they lose. You're going to lose some. You're going to win some and you're going to lose some. That's part of the game. The game wouldn't be fun if you just won all the time. If you won all the time, it wouldn't be fun. How many times did it take Michael Jordan to get to the NBA Finals? He lost a lot. He lost to the bad boy Pistons. How many times did it take Peyton Manning to get to the playoffs? He lost plenty of times in the playoffs. He still got there. I'm just using multiple different examples to just say, like, it's not easy to just win Super Bowls and championships. You're going to win some and lose some. But just because after you win some and then you start losing, does not mean that person or that coach, that player or that coach is just, oh, he's not good anymore. That's just my opinion, bro. Bill got caught cheating. That held up, in my opinion. It was Spygate and Deflategate. It's like Barry Bonds, steroids, Pete Rose gambling. Yeah, that whole Barry Bonds. That's probably what it was. That's the only thing I could think of. There was the Spygate and the Deflate. But then you got to take away from Tom Brady too. If you take away from Bill, take away from Tom Brady, because he's part of them. He was part of that team when the success was happening. So you got to take away from Tom. The Stanley Cup, in my opinion, is the hardest. It's such a physical demand on a team. Yeah. Hockey ain't no joke. Hockey ain't no joke. Hockey ain't no joke. I'm not jealous. I'm keeping it real. Any thoughts on Paul Allen voice? Oh my gosh, I was gonna speak on this, bro. I was gonna speak on this, but I really don't want to speak on this too much, bro, because I know people are so worked up about what's going on around the country. This is why I say this is one YouTube family. Sports are designed to bring us together, not separate us, and I truly feel that way. I feel like people is entitled to their own opinion, but there's a moment of time where you should just shut up and just certain things you should just keep to yourself. And especially when lives are at risk, I feel like you should just be quiet. You know what I mean? Just keep it to yourself. It's unfortunate that he seems like a really good dude. I know people make mistakes. People say things and do things and make mistakes. I don't want the man to be fired. I think he did get fired. I don't really know if he did get fired or not, but it's devastating because I was just in Minneapolis not a few months ago, and it's a beautiful city. And for that to be happening, bro, it sucks. But Paul Allen gotta watch what he says, man. Like, the country is freedom. What's it? Freedom of speech. But at the end of the day, is it really freedom of speech? You gotta watch what you say, and and just because you have an opinion about something that's that dramatic that's happening in a place in the world, you're gonna give your opinion. But there's someone that's hurting. There's someone that's going through something. That could have been a family member that's going through something. That passed away. You just don't know. So you just gotta really be careful what you say. It's unfortunate. I hate the fact that it's happening. And sometimes you just gotta be quiet and just keep your personal opinions to yourself sometimes. Just keep that to yourself. And I'm not really sure what they're gonna do. If did the Vikings fire him for did they fire him? I'm not really sure, but what I will say is everybody makes mistakes. I don't think he should be fired. But it does suck. It's bad timing. Terrible timing. You know what I mean? Terrible timing. But yeah. Y'all going back and forth. Yeah, y'all don't got to go back and forth about it. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I feel like, Bill Belichick should be first ballot. But I get it, though. The cheating stuff, I get it. But you got to take away from Tom Brady. Tom Brady shouldn't be first ballot then. Hold on now, because people don't want to talk about that. If Bill Belichick ain't first ballot, Tom Brady shouldn't be first ballot because he benefited off of that. Hold on now. I know this is not a conversation that y'all thought I was going to talk about. And I'm a Tom Brady guy. I think he's the GOAT at quarterback. So if you're going to take away from Bill Belichick for him not being first ballot, then you got to take away from Tom Brady because he was winning off of that cheating. You get what I'm saying? So you got to take away from everybody. What do you think about Bo Nix, Sean Payton disagreement? Oh, I didn't see that. What's the disagreement about? What do you think about the Bo Nix, Sean Payton disagreement? Let me look that up right now. Hold on now. Let me look that up right now. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We are going live for absolutely every Viking game with the scoreboard and everything. And whether you're a Viking fan or not, consider subscribing. This is one YouTube family. Sports is designed to bring us together, not separate us, and I truly feel that way. And we're also going live for some primetime games as well. All right, so Bo Nix. Sean Payton disagreement. I'm looking it up right now, bro. Thanks for giving me that because I have no clue. All right, so I'm looking it up. All right, Bo Nix opposes Broncos coach Sean Payton. What? Hold on now. Denver Broncos quarterback Bo Nix pushed back on coach Sean Payton's comment that he was predisposed to the ankle injury suffered during the team's NFL playoffs win over Buffalo Bills. What was found was oh, damn, my thing just moved around. Hold on. What was found was a condition that was predisposed. They always find a little more when they go in. Peyton said during this week's season's wrap-up press conference, it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. When you look at the play and you're trying to evaluate it, the operating surgeon said that this was going to happen sooner than later. What? So was he already injured already, and then he just injured it even more? Is that what they're saying? Knicks contradicted Peyton's statement Wednesday, calling his injury a typical bone break. That was nothing out of the ordinary. And so this is what Bo said on 9 News. Mike Kliss, I guess that's a station or news channel. So he said nothing predisposed, nothing that was there originally. Nick said that might have gotten confused. Just a simple step with my foot up in the air. My body weight came down on it. Sort of got twisted up. Okay. All right. So Knicks expects to be back on the field in 4 to 6 weeks and prefers that Peyton not discuss his medical history. Oh, dang. Well, so what did he say? He said, I don't think he really should share how many surgeries I've had in the past. Oh, to be honest with you, he doesn't even really know that, Nick said, but it's going to be good to get back to work. Nothing really that concerns me, nothing that scares me moving forward. Wow. Knicks finished with 3,931 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions while attempting a league high 612 passes. Denver substituted Jared Stidham in for the AFC Championship game, which ended in a 10-7 loss, and New England Patriots advanced to the Super Bowl. Okay. Well, I'll give you my opinion. Dang, that's an unfortunate. Thank you for that comment, by the way, because I knew nothing about it. Coming from a Viking fan opinion, I agree with Bo Nix. You shouldn't be discussing my medical. You can say the basic stuff, right? But don't try to make it seem like it's worse than what it is and say when they went in and it was a little bit worse and they did this, or he had a injury that what it sounded like to me is what Sean Payton was saying, that the doctor was saying that it would have happened. It would have happened sooner or later or something like that. And I don't like that. I think just when it comes to people's business, when it comes to their health, just be quiet, bro. Like, come on, bro. And then I love that Bo Nix stuck up for himself and said, yo, you shouldn't be speaking on my history or my injury. Just say the basic stuff. All you had to say is he'll be back better than ever coming 2026 NFL season. He'll be back. He'll be fine. Or give the timeline on will he be back throwing the ball or something like that. But don't give all the other stuff. You're giving up too much information, which I feel like that's disrespectful. Keep my personal medical stuff. Don't be talking about it. Don't be talking about it. Period. I mean, ain't nothing more to say. Don't talk about my personal medical records. Don't say, oh, the doctor went in. It was worse than what it. Bro, don't do all that. Because then you're going to make it seem like I'm done or something, or I can't come back from this injury. I'm one of the biggest reasons why you got to where you got to. Yes, the Broncos defense is really good. Bo Nix was doing his thing. He was a good game manager. There's nothing wrong with being a good game manager. I like Bo Nix. It was an unfortunate injury. But, bro, saying too much. That's my opinion. Bro, be quiet.
Nah, bruh. Nah.
You don't gotta tell my business. Let me tell my business, not you. That's not your place. You can give the basics. Don't tell, oh, well, the surgery went in, it was worse than it was. No, be quiet. That's my opinion. That's my opinion, just to let you know. Every time I hear Stevens, I keep hearing Steve. I know you're old. Oh, hold on. Y'all keep it PG in the comments, y'all. Y'all good, man. Get along. Can we all just get along? I also think they wanted him to play hurt. Yeah. you know, I don't know about all that, bro. But what I will say is this, man. You don't want to break up that when the quarterback and head coach relationship gets damaged, you got to repair it ASAP. Because those are two, you have to have a good coach and you have to have a solid / good quarterback to win Super Bowls. Right? Decent / solid / good quarterback. And I feel like the trust might have been dampered a little bit because you're putting out too much information that you don't have no business putting out. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. No, Bill Belichick road terms coach. Bill did not win prior to the time. Yeah, but Tom didn't win prior to him though. Like I get it. I understand that Tom Brady won a Super Bowl after he left the Patriots. But y'all really going to tell me that the only reason why Bill got Super Bowls is just because of Tom? I mean, I know Tom is a big part, but the defense was amazing. You got to have defense, bro. Like, you take away those great defenses. Bill Belichick is one of the greatest defensive-minded coaches of all time. You take away that, you think Tom would have 7 Super Bowls right now? He won 1 without Bill Belichick. People making it seem like he won 5 without Bill Belichick. It's hard to win. And so the time he did win the last one, he was up there in age in football years. You get what I'm saying? But don't try to make it seem like, just my opinion, don't try to make it seem like Bill Belichick is, you could put anybody as head coach. You could put me as the head coach and Tom Brady would have won a Super Bowl. I don't think he would have. You can't just put anybody as head coach of the Patriots and just win a Super Bowl. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Purple attraction by strings is a screen song. Purple attraction. I'm gonna have to look that up. Opinion: if you get fired, you're not a first ballot. Well, I'll tell you this right now. I think he is. Sometimes you need a new scenery, bro. Sometimes you need a new scenery. He won 3 Super Bowls, leaving the Eagles, and then he won 3 Super Bowls with the Chiefs. So I don't know. Any refires. I mean, I respect your opinion. I disagree, but I'd be curious to know how many multiple Super Bowls winning coaches weren't first ballot Hall of Famers. Yeah, I gotta know that too. That's a good question. Phil Jackson was basically fired from the Knicks. Yeah, and he's a first ballot. He should be in the defense didn't have Teddy Bruce or Ronnie Harrison. Yeah. I loved it. My bull was Teddy Bruschi. Teddy Bruschi was my guy, man. He can't be a first. Andy Reid rubs me the wrong way. When they won Super Bowl, he was trying to steal the line from Jimmy Johnson by saying, "How about them Chiefs?" Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, man. I get it, but man, he won. It's just amazing how he goes to a whole nother franchise and wins 3 Super Bowls. And he was with the Eagles for how many years and didn't win none? I think he got to the Super Bowl 2 times with the Eagles. I know at least 1 time he got to the Super Bowl with the Eagles. But they were always in contention. Like the Eagles, when they had McNabb and Westbrook, and do y'all remember Trotter and Brian Dawkins? And do y'all remember those teams? Those teams were lights out. Those Eagles, the team, bruh. Yep. Phil Jackson could coach Eagles. That's why the Lakers hired him. Yeah, you had to when you have all-time greats like that. The Deflategate was nothing. I hate Brady, but he was rocking teams prior to inflating the ball after halftime. Yeah, I don't even know who was to say. How did that story come about? Was it Tom Brady saying, "Hey, by the way, go deflate the football for me"? I don't think Tom Brady did that. You think Bill Belichick was like, "Hey, by the way, go deflate the football for me"? Nah, I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe that. Brett was in the Redskins, also a corner. Yeah, man. Listen, man. That bounty gate was some bull crap, man. This is why I always like. It's nothing personal against Saints fans, but I don't like the Saints. Like I almost dislike the Saints as much as I dislike the Packers, bro. Like I say that respectfully, bro. Like I say that respectfully. Like I almost dislike the Saints as much as I dislike the Packers, and it's all love at the end of the day. But I just don't like the fact that they got away with that, bro. They got away. There was no flags thrown. They was doing whatever they wanted to do. Whatever they wanted to do, they did it and got away with it, which is bull crap. Like, how do you step on someone's ankle, twist his ankle, step on him, and do all this extra stuff? How do you do that? It's the Astros. Yep. AP only fumbled once. Harvey fumbled only once. Yeah. I think he had 3 fumbles. Yeah, I think he had more than 1 fumble, bro, but he didn't lose them all. You know what I mean? AP fumbled more than 1 time in the NFC Championship game. Probably 1 loss. Yeah, probably 1 loss. Yeah, he did fumble. And y'all know how I feel about Adrian Peterson. That jersey right there is my Adrian Peterson signed autograph jersey. Y'all know how I feel about AP. But the one thing about your boy is I'm gonna keep it real, man. He fumbled more. He fumbled more than 1. I don't know how many he lost. The only irritating thing for me though is, like I said this on my last live, Adrian Peterson will break 5 tackles, stay on his feet, and then it'll be the smallest little tackle and he'll fumble. And I'm like, bro, you just broke like 5 tackles. You're running over everybody. And the 1 tackle gets you to fumble the ball. It's like, bro, then that's why it's like sometimes you got to get on the ground, bro. Break a couple tackles, get some yards, and get down on the ground. And that's the time frame where they was letting defense really play defense. Now they try to take a lot away from the defense nowadays. I don't know what they got going on now. They got something against the defense. And I love AP. AP, my guy. We didn't want Ron Flores. Yeah, man. I wish we had. Listen, love Brian. Watch the game. There was 3 Vikings turnovers in the game. Harvey, AP fumble, Favre. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Favre interception. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to look that up. Patrick Ewing. Yup. Pete Rose. It's all politics and who you know. Fact. Who you know. Mike Shanahan, Broncos coach, and they still running offense still to this day. That run game he came up with it. Yeah. I remember when Kevin Williams scooped. Yeah, scored 50. Yeah, from the 50 against the Giants. Great moment. Yeah. I love Kevin Williams. I love Pat. I love Kevin. Can we get another Kevin Williams in this draft? Another thing. I'm gonna do a mock draft. Next time I go live, I'm gonna do a mock draft. On when I do like this setup right here. In the office, I'm gonna do a mock draft. But like, we gotta get a defensive tackle, man. Like, we need a defensive tackle. Like, I think that's number 1 on defense for me. Offense for me is a center. Defense for me is a tackle. I know people want the corner. I know people want the safety. I get it. But I will go defensive tackle, safety, then corner when it comes to defense. And on offense, I'm going center and maybe a wide receiver because I don't know what we're going to do with Jordan Addison. I have a feeling we're going to end up trading Jordan Addison on draft day. I think we're going to trade him on draft day to like the Bills or the Chiefs or somebody like that. So we might have to go wide receiver in the 2nd round or the 3rd round or whatever. I don't know. Unless you have faith in Jalen Naylor, can be the 2nd string wide receiver, or Ty Felton. But I think center is so high on my list right now because like Ryan Kelly's not going to be able to come back. I hope he doesn't, respectfully, because of the concussions. And I think we might need to get a tackle again because I'm really getting nervous about Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. Like, they've been getting hurt lately. So I'm a little bit iffy with them. But I go defensive tackle on defense number 1 for me. I wouldn't mind having a superstar edge rusher either, y'all. I know we got some edge We got some dogs, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I want a defensive tackle. If the 70s Vikings win one Super Bowl, Chuck Foreman would have been in the Hall of Fame along. Oh my goodness. Yeah, listen. Every starter, the coaching staff, everybody, the owners, everybody. Whenever the Vikings win a Super Bowl, everybody should get in the Hall of Fame, baby. I don't care. If you a starter, you a Hall of Famer in my eyes, bro. The quarterback, you a Hall of Famer, whether it's J.J. McCarthy or not. The coach, if it's J.J. McCarthy, I mean, not J.J., Kevin O'Connell or not, Hall of Famer. Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason, running back, Hall of Famer. Justin Jefferson, Hall of Famer. Everybody, just get Hall of Famer. Christian Darrisaw, Hall of Famer. Brian O'Neill, Hall of Famer. Everybody, you just Hall of Famers everywhere, left and right. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Yo, I just want to get one Super Bowl, bro. Like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of losing T-Bass. Like, every time it's like every year, bro, we have the same conversation. And you know, the coach creates the culture. The coach creates the culture. If Kevin O'Connell wins the Super Bowl for us, he deserves to be first ballot. I would say it, but I don't see it. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But if he gets it, Bill Belichick should have been got it. Just saying. Kevin O'Connell gets a statue if he wins. If he gets us, I would get a Kevin O'Connell jersey. What team did he play for, y'all? He played for the Patriots. I'm getting a Kevin O'Connell Patriots jersey. I'm a Kevin O'Connell fan, y'all. I'm not a Patriot fan, but I'm a Kevin O'Connell fan, brother. Hey, listen, I'm back on the ship. Hey, Kevin O'Connell, you my guy, brother. If you win the Super Bowl. I don't know about that. Same with it wasn't just Tom, it was the team. Facts! I love this comment. The world ended if Kevin O'Connell. Once your generational player retire, you better and leave. Nah, bro, I don't agree with that. Along with the quarterback, he can be quarterback forever. You a Phillies fan? Yes, I'm a Phillies fan, bro. Yes, I love J-Hap. A coach. You remember J-Hap? A coach on him when he was. Are you serious? You coach J-Hap? That's what's up. That's my guy. Yeah, I love my Phillies. I'm Philly everything besides NFL football, man. I'm a Sixer fan. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a Flyers fan. I'm a Union fan. You know? Yeah, Hap. That's what's up. Vince Lombardi said, "Winning is everything." A lot of people don't like the Patriots. Also, probably played a role. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I bet being an NBA fan in the '60s was pretty boring. I think the Celtics won the championship. For real, right? For real. All right, I'm about to get off in a little bit, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll be live again. Probably tomorrow. I might do a mock draft tomorrow, but I'll probably do the mock draft around probably like five-ish. So we'll do a mock draft and we'll see how we do with the mock draft tomorrow around like 5:00. We'll see. Paul is a great dude. I talked to him once a week. He's been my mentor since I got out. Oh, that's what's up, bro. That is what's up, bro. Can't take away from Tom why he didn't put Drew Bledsoe back in from injury. Nah, man. But if you take away from Bill Belichick, Tom Brady is on the Patriots. You can't say, oh, it's all on Bill Belichick that he benefited off of the cheating. Tom Brady benefited off the cheating as well. He was the quarterback and got 6 Super Bowls. So you can't just take it away from Bill and don't take it away from Tom. That's how I look at it. And I like Tom. I'm a Tom guy. I don't even care about that part. I don't even care about the little cheating. I don't really care about that because you still got to stop it. You might know a play. The Flake gate, I don't even understand that bull crap. That was some bull crap. That sounded so corny. It seemed like it was made up. I don't know. No, he's taking a break from radio. Oh, okay, temporarily. Okay. He said, talk about it. If real is like someone he holds something against him. If he doesn't, he won't. That's real. Yeah. First ballot or not, they are both Hall of Fame. Yeah, facts. Check out the band called Furious Traits. Furious Traits, bro. I'm gonna have to look that up, bro. 1,000. I'm locked in as a Seahawks / Niners fan. Oh man. Bring Bo to Minnesota. Oh my gosh. Hold on now. So that means you're giving up on JJ McCarthy. Bring Bo Nix to Minnesota. I heard. Hey, listen, if this is what you're feeling, brother, man, goshly, I thought I was the one that was trying to keep us together with the whole JJ McCarthy stuff. I guess I'm not doing good enough. To keep us together when it comes to JJ McCarthy. My homie heard one thing about Bo Nix. He said, bring him to Minnesota. Oh my goodness. Bo Pat. Coaches needs the players, bro. Like Coach Pop said. Coaches needs the players, bro. But you trying to take away from Pop. You trying to take away from Pop because of what again? Because of Tim Duncan retired. So since Pop didn't win after Tim lost, when Tim left, you think that Pop shouldn't be like in the Hall of Fame? But what was you saying about Pop? Because I don't agree with that, bro. I think you'd be the only one that says that, bro. I say that respectfully, Andre. I guarantee if you went to NBA people that know NBA, that know coaching, you'll be the only one that says Pop doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame or he shouldn't continue to coach after Tim Duncan retired. You'll be the only one you'll be alone. Ain't nothing wrong being alone. I'm a loner. I'm an introvert. I don't hang out with nobody. But when it comes to that conversation, you talking about Pop. Man, I wish he was the Sixers head coach, but that's another story for another day. Players need a coach as well. It's a relationship that works. Yes, I agree. Both come together. Sean Payton trying to devalue Bo Nix. He knows he wants to keep Bo Nix for cheap when his contract expires. I don't know, man. That's some weird reverse psychology because if that's the case, bro, you're just messing up what you got going on. And what they got going on is special. Their defense is lights out. And they have a quality quarterback in Bo Nix. Kevin O'Connell won't ever win a Super Bowl. McCarthy going to ball out next season, bro. I hope he does. But this is the only issue, Antonio. Will he get the opportunity to do that? Because we don't know if Kevin O'Connell believes in him. I don't think he does, actually. And I don't know if Crazy believes in him. We'll see if they make a trade. Depending on who they get, we'll definitely see. But I believe that JJ McCarthy should be the starter in 2026. But they still need to have competition, and he has to earn it. He has to have the chance to be the starter. I'll say that. He needs to earn it. Because at the end of the day, this isn't personal. This is about winning a Super Bowl. And may the best player win. Whoever the best quarterback is, that's who should start. We cannot go into the 2026 NFL season with just J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer. Can't. But that's not true, though. Bill Belichick, I will agree. He didn't win a championship without Tim, but he still was a good coach. We gonna have to agree to disagree, bro. I love that you're so opinionated on that. That's cool though, but I feel like you can't take away from Pop because Tim Duncan left and he retired. If he still has some more juice left and he wants to still be a coach, that doesn't take away from what he accomplished. So you're saying, oh, well, if you retire, I retire with you. No, that's not how life works. That's not even how life works in general. So just because a player leaves, I should just leave. No. And it's Tim Duncan, like, let me say this. Tim Duncan is one of my favorite players of all time. Tim Duncan is a top 5 player for me of all time. I love Tim Duncan. I got him, look, power forward / center. So I got Kevin Garnett, power forward / center, Tim Duncan, power forward / center, because they both played both. I love KG, but he ain't Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? I love KG. But then again, you got to look at it like this. Kevin Garnett didn't have that great coach. If Kevin Garnett had Pop, say Pop was the coach of the Timberwolves, you think that Kevin Garnett wouldn't have got a championship? With that great, one of the greatest players of all time in Kevin Garnett? I think they probably would have. Because not just developing in knowing how to pick talent. They got Tony Parker. Tony Parker could be on the Timberwolves. Hold on, I'm not done. They got Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili could have been on the Timberwolves. Hold on, I'm not done. You think that Tim Duncan would have won without Robinson? You think Tim Duncan would have won without Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker? You give those players, those great players that I just named, and give them the Garnett and give Pop and put Pop on the Timberwolves. You don't think the Timberwolves would have won? I guarantee you they would have. I guarantee you they would have. Coaching matters so much. It matters so much in being able to find talent in the draft. Nobody knew Tony Parker was going to be that good. Nobody knew Manu Ginobili was going to be that guy. Nobody knew that Leonard was going to be one of the greatest players of all time. Nobody knew all this. But you have to be able to manage it and put it together. Find it, manage it, and put it together. Tim Duncan, I'm not taking nothing from Tim. But Pop, like I hate the fact that you keep having the conversation. It's your opinion, your opinion, that's your opinion. You keep trying to separate. You can be a great player and never win. But you know what? You can be a great coach and never win. But if you have a great player and a great coach, you have a better chance of winning, because it's hard to win a championship or a Super Bowl. Winning the big game in any sport is hard to do. But what you're doing is, once a player, you value the player way more than the coach, which I get it. I get that. But how many players, if my point is this, you can't really separate them, because Tim Duncan probably wouldn't have won 5 championships if it wasn't for Pop. And the same thing goes, it's all the way around. Pop probably wouldn't have won 5 if it wasn't for Tim. But what I'm not doing is I'm going to say, oh, well, when a player retires, just don't be a coach anymore. When a coach retires, don't play in the NBA. So you're telling me, as a great player, when my head coach retires, I need to retire with him. That's just crazy. That's not realistic. It's so hard to win. You're making it seem like championships grow on trees, like they falling off a tree, like a leaf falling off a tree. Oh, yeah. It's fall time and the leaf is falling off. It's that easy. It's not that easy. You can have all these greatness and it's hard to win. It's hard to win. You know what the Spurs were going against back in the day? You think they was going to win without Pop as the head coach? With the freaking Lakers? With Kobe and Shaq? You think that Tim Duncan and the Spurs would beat the Lakers without Pop? Respectfully, I think that's crazy talk. Respectfully. If you know the history of what's going on in the NBA at that time, a great coach matters. A great coach matters. Same goes with the NFL. Same goes with MLB. Same goes with everything. You can't just separate them because one player retires. Oh, I got to retire now. Like, no. No. My Sports File, you know what it is? Yeah, bro, I'm just trying to talk. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see you win and walk away. And not sure about that. I would say Seattle plays old school, and also Philadelphia, who won the Super Bowl last year. Old school. I love it. Old school system. I absolutely love it. I think in Andy Reid, he's a big reason why they play. Not Andy Reid. Who's the coach of the dang on Eagles? Don't even know his name. But the coach of the Eagles, they ran the ball. Ran the ball with Saquon. Play off the run game. Even though in the Super Bowl, they pretty much shut down Saquon. Saquon didn't have that many rushing yards, but you still got to run the ball to keep that defense honest, because that was the number one thing. If you couldn't stop Saquon, you're going to get beat by the Eagles no matter what you do if you can't stop Saquon. But then on top of that, you had Jalen Hurts picking them apart. That was probably his best game. That was his best game of his career. He was the Super Bowl MVP for a reason. He was throwing dimes to AJ and Devontae Smith and all them. But it's just like, yeah, that's old school right there. That was some old school football. They had some of the pass rush got to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes just looked like he wasn't Patrick Mahomes in that game. Patrick Mahomes, I never seen Patrick Mahomes play that bad of a game. He was throwing the ball at the dirt. He was scared of his own shadow. Now, that's why I always say defense wins Super Bowls. That defense that the Eagles run in that Super Bowl made Patrick Mahomes. That was the worst game I ever seen Patrick Mahomes play. And he was overthrowing dudes. He was bouncing the ball off the dirt. He was scrambling. He was so like he wasn't patient in the pocket. It was crazy. It was like, yo, Eagles dominated. They dominated that game. But it started with the defense for me. Started with the defense. And then Jalen Hurts was using his legs. I think he was the leading rusher for both teams, actually, Jalen Hurts in that Super Bowl. But yeah. Wasn't Sean Payton involved in the bounty game? Yeah, I can't stand it. Yo, yeah, the same person, bro. Yeah, same person. He got something with him, man. I'm not feeling that, bro. For real. Drake May and Mike Irvin becoming the Super Bowl. They both would be on the Hall of Fame. I can see that. Yeah. Brady couldn't keep the starting job at Michigan. Well, don't complain, Bill. No, he should have retired when Brady left. I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't know what you mean complaining? I'm not complaining. I'm just speaking on it. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying we're going to have to agree to disagree. You think that Bill Belichick is not first ballot, and that's your opinion, and I'm fine with your opinion. But just because I'm fine with you having that opinion, I disagree with it, though. I think that he should be first ballot. I mean, you're not going to change my mind on this. You can say everything you want. You can say that Bill Belichick should have retired when Tom left. You should say whatever you want. I don't agree with it. No matter what you say, I don't agree. I think, in my opinion, Bill Belichick should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It is what it is. He benefited greatly going to Belichick, the same as Belichick benefited. Yes, but my homie's trying to split them apart like they could do better without each other, which I don't agree. The coaching tree is also a good indication of a great head coach. Facts. He made Matt Cassell look good, so stop using Tom Brady excuse. Yeah. I'm getting. I mean, it's your truth. It's your truth, bro. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, listen, you're entitled to your opinion, bro, but that's your truth. Your truth isn't everybody's truth. Bo Nix and Sean Payton have to part ways. Hey, listen, Bo Nix. I'm about to talk about it in a short. Bo Nix, we need you. Come to the purple and gold, baby. Hey, listen. We'll give you J.J. McCarthy. Respectfully speaking, I like you, J.J. Hey, Sean Payton, you can have J.J. McCarthy. We'll take Bo Nix. We'll take him off your hands. He's younger than Bo Nix. You can have him. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully speaking, you can have J.J. McCarthy. We'll take Bo Nix off your hands. You don't need Bo Nix anymore. We'll take Bo Nix off your hands. You feel me? We'll take him off your hands. You don't need him. You don't need him. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get off soon. Brady was. I think that a sign of a really great coach is more than one place like Andy Reid has. Yeah, I think Andy Reid is one of the most like greatest head coaches of all time. I would have loved for him to be our head coach. Hey, as a Viking fan, I would love for Andy Reid to be our head coach. I wish he would have came to the Vikings instead of the Chiefs. We could probably have Patrick Mahomes right now. We could probably have 3 Super Bowls right now. I'm just saying, y'all. Imagine Andy Reid being the head coach and Brian Flores being the defensive coordinator. I know I'm just dreaming. I'm just dreaming right now. I'm just saying though. Imagine that. Brian Flores being the defensive coordinator and Andy Reid being the offensive-minded head coach that he is, with Patrick Mahomes slinging the ball to Justin Jefferson. Oh my gosh. We messed around, had like 5 Super Bowls in 5 seasons. I ain't gonna sit here and cap. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off. Shout out to everybody in the building. Defensive tackle, Florida State. Yes, beast. His name is Daryl Jackson Jr. He's a dog. And we're gonna do a mock draft tomorrow around 5 p.m. Eastern time, most likely. So if y'all interested, make sure you come back on the live stream on tomorrow at 5. We're mocking. I want a defensive tackle. Defensive tackle is my biggest need. I know people ain't gonna say. I know safety's up there too. Defensive tackle and center. The 2 trenches. Center, it goes DT and center for me. And then safety, and then corner. No, then running back, then corner. I'm just thinking a little bit different right now. I know people, I don't know what it is, if people are devaluing like defensive tackles, but I just think defensive tackle for us would be a very, very big deal for us if we can get a star defensive tackle. We haven't had that in a very long time. We haven't had that. So I want the trenches to be on point. You win and lose games in the trenches, in my honest opinion. And I just feel like the center position we have to take care of, in that defensive tackle, we have to take care of those 2 positions. As long as we take care of those 2 positions in the draft or free agency, I'm cool. And we can do everything else after that. But I really feel like we have to make sure our trenches are on point on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. We can't go into 2026 without a center and a defensive tackle. I'm not a big fan of I love Jalen Redmond. Don't get it twisted. I like Jalen Redmond. I like and that's it. The only defensive tackle I really like. And that's a problem. Jonathan Allen, no. Hargrave, no. He all right. I like him better than Jonathan Allen, but I'll take Hargrave. I mean, if we have to keep him, I keep Hargrave, but we need a defensive tackle badly. Don't you credit? He had Manning. Will the steroid star cap suspension hurt Kevin? Oh man, will the steroid / star cap suspension hurt Kevin? It could. It could, T-Bass. It could. Might tell your friend. He said, "Might tell your friend to get their friend." Well, hey, listen, y'all can debate in the comments. As long as y'all keep it respectful, I don't really care. I feel like you're wrong, though. When it comes to a head coach and they win a Super Bowl with a great player, like, say, for instance, like Tom Brady. We're going to use him, Bill Belichick. Just because Tom Brady went to another team doesn't mean Bill Belichick should just retire. Because I don't even know if he would have got the Super Bowl anyway because of the Bounty Gate. Not Bounty Gate, gosh, Lee. The Deflate Gate and the Spy Gate. That bull crap. So, but you can't just punish Bill Belichick and not punish Tom Brady. Tom Brady was the quarterback. He was the quarterback. You can't punish Bill, but don't punish Tom. He benefited because he won. 6 out of 7 Super Bowls that Tom Brady has is one with the Patriots. Check out Big Boy Nose Tackle. Yes, Lee Hunter. Yes, I was looking him up too. Yeah, I like Lee. I like Lee, bro. I like Lee. Duro Jackson Jr. Florida State. We gonna do these mocks, man. Y'all seem like y'all ready to do these mocks. As a Minnesota Vikings fan, I'm a huge Patrick Mahomes. He is my favorite quarterback to watch. I love Patrick Mahomes, but like he's a great quarterback. He's a great quarterback. I like Patrick Mahomes. I ain't gonna say hate. I'm not gonna hate on someone that's just really good. Like, I know some people are like, oh, they keep winning, bro. I don't listen. I want that to be for the Vikings. I want people to hate my Vikings so much because, and I say that because I want them to be like, oh, I'm tired of seeing the Vikings win all the time. I want that to happen. They were so happy, and I listen. They was like, yo, the Chiefs ain't getting to the playoffs. People were so happy about that because they've been dominating for how many years straight, y'all? How many years have the Chiefs been dominating? How many years, y'all? They keep on dominating. So people going to be like, oh, I don't want them to go anywhere. I don't want them to win. Redmond is our next Kevin Williams. Whew, we'll see. We'll see. Look at the 70s Vikings who went to 4 Super Bowls. They have 3 Hall of Famers on the defense, 3 Hall of Famers on off, and probably 3 more should be. Yeah, exactly. Ever close talent wise, yeah. Yeah. Next back to Bo Picks. Oh no. Minnesota should get somebody because if JJ McCarthy got proved he is stay healthy that first before he yeah. Man, I think our biggest problem is Kevin O'Connell, but we'll see what happens. I got to see full season together first. Facts. I'm a Spurs fan. Pop is a Hall of Famer. He said he was leaving when but he didn't leave when Duncan left, though. You can't have it both ways, Andre, because you just said when a great player leaves, the coach should leave. Pop didn't leave right away. He started going through some health issues later. Remember, Tim retired. Tony, all of them left. They all left. They still had Leonard. And the Spurs were pretty decent still. But then Leonard started to get in his, you know, if you're a Spurs fan, you know what Leonard. Leonard is a good player. He's a great player. But Leonard, for some reason, he the type of player, if he hurt, he ain't playing. He ain't fighting through that. He ain't fighting through it. If Leonard says he's hurt, you can't play him because he ain't going to step on that basketball court. And Pop, I think, had a problem with it. Pop, to me, as I'm a Sixer fan, Pop is the greatest head coach in NBA history to me. I'm not taking nothing away from any of these other coaches. I know Pop is not the one that got the most championship rings. I'm not saying that. I'm just giving you my opinion. For me, if I wasn't a Sixer fan, I would have been a San Antonio Spurs fan because one of my favorite players of all time is Tim Duncan. I love how I can get I got Drew Holiday's autograph right there. You know what I mean? If I can get an autograph from any basketball player, besides like a couple of Sixer players like AI, whatever, Charles Barkley, maybe Julius Erving. The autograph I would want probably before all of those is Tim Duncan. I'm a Tim Duncan guy. I got Tim Duncan in my top 5 all time greatest players of all time. But getting back to what I was saying, like Pop did not retire when Tim left. Not right away. I think the medical stuff that was happening with him, that's what pushed him away. So God bless the Pop, one of my favorite coaches. I love the way he seemed like a hard behind, but behind closed doors, the players loved him or love him. See, he showed one way to the media, but he showed another way to his players. Like he really cares about his players. It's like they're his kids. That's how, not that he treats them like kids, but it's like he really loves his players. And I have a lot of respect for Pop. Pop is one of them guys, man. Pop is one of my favorite players. You named Tony Parker twice. I did. I love Tony Parker. Tony Parker, one of my favorite guards, man. One of my favorite guards, man. I hate that bear jerky is his own business. I would love to have that right now. That sounds good. The Spurs worked because they were international players and were about team and not stats like Americans. You know what? I am with you with a lot of what you're saying. International players and yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. But the one thing what makes it go together is having an all-time great. The nucleus is Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? The nucleus is Tim Duncan. And then you build around that. But then you have to also have you got to have the coach, you have to have the developing. And the best player, I know you want to talk international players, but the best player in that franchise in Spurs history, in my opinion, is Tim Duncan. He's American. So they built around an American player. And they won those championships. It's not about, I get international. They're more like, I will say that international players definitely caught up with the NBA, American players. I will 100% agree with that. I think the best players in the game are international. If you want to consider like SGA, he's Canadian, right? Luka, I forgot what Luka is. Luka ain't American. Giannis is an American. Who else is another great international player that's in the NBA right now? Dang. But I think international play is they're more what's the word I'm looking for? They're more how they play the game of basketball is just different from just like American or like when it comes to like developing and stuff. Like they learn the basics. Like they don't skip steps. They learn everything. And I love the fact that Jokic is another one. They just learn how to really play. You know what I mean? And when you have Ginobili coming off the bench or starting, depending on the matchup, and then you have now you got me going into NBA. Everybody that loves NBA, can y'all go to my other channel? I'm going to put my other channel. I talk about the Sixers. I do play-by-plays. Let me just put it out there because I have another YouTube channel, believe it or not. And this is my other channel. I'm going to put the link in the comments. I will be going live for the Sixers tonight, play-by-play. So if you enjoy basketball, because it seems like we have some basketball fans in here as well, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna spam it a couple of times. Go subscribe to this channel. This is my basketball channel right here, where I cover the Sixers and I also cover the Phillies as well. But what was I saying? Yeah, but the Spurs, they have in my opinion, the greatest coach of all time. And then you got one of the greatest players of all time, Tim Duncan, and you build around him. But international players are definitely the face. Am I wrong for saying this? Am I wrong to say that the international players in the NBA right now are pretty much the face of the NBA? Am I wrong for saying that? I don't know. There's a lot of great American players, you know what I mean? But I would probably Like when you talk about Jokic and Giannis and SGA, um, just them three alone. I mean, goodness gracious. You know what I mean? Luca. Woo! Crazy. Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Disagree. Tim Duncan made all of them. Yeah, Tim Duncan made them all better, but they're still good players. Of course, you're gonna be better with an all-time great. So I will agree with that, Andre. I'm not gonna disagree with the full statement, but they did have some game. They did have some game though, y'all. Like, don't get it twisted. Tony Parker is a great guard. Ginobili, one of my favorite players of all time. Great player, bro. Like, don't forget Robinson. You know what I mean? When they won their first championship. Oh, and we can't even forget about the last one they won with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. People forget, man. Hey, listen, Kawhi Leonard's first championship was with the Spurs. It wasn't with the Raptors. People probably, it was with the Raptors. No, it was not with the Raptors, y'all. It was with the Spurs. And Tim Duncan was not in his prime, but he still was he was still a good player to me. Even though he wasn't the same Tim Duncan, he's still a good player. The one thing about Tim Duncan that I love, I wish there was another player that played like him, but there's not one player that plays like Tim. Like, he would not only post you up and dominate you in the post, but he will also hit the midi off the backboard. What player can you name that used the backboard more than Tim Duncan when it comes to shooting a mid-range jump shot? And then later in his career, Tim Duncan was like shooting threes. He wasn't like the best three-point shooter, but Tim Duncan was shooting threes. But he was unguardable in the post. And the one thing we talk about his offense, but his defense was up there as well. People forget how great Tim Duncan was defensively. Defense for Tim Duncan was all that. Was all that, especially in his prime. He's a two-way player. He's not just offense and no defense. He's not just defense and no offense. He is a complete player, ladies and gentlemen. He's a complete player, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't taking nothing away from certain players. Like, the only thing, listen, I'm just going to say this real quick. The only thing I take away from Luka is sometimes his defense is suspect. He ain't the best defender. I think he's starting to step up a little bit. He's doing a little bit more than he had been lately. But his defense ain't all that. That's why I have so much respect for like the two-way players like Ant-Man with the Timberwolves. Even though you can say what you want about Ant-Man off the field, he's off the court. Ant-Man on the court is lights. He's just amazing. And what's the Bulls' name? SGA. SGA? Oh my gosh, bro. Not only can that man get 30 points in his sleep, he can also play defense. Another player I love. See, now y'all got me talking about the basketball. Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, one of the best point guards in the game, but he plays very, very good defense. I love it, man. Love it. I love two-way players. Rodman helped with of those. Yeah, Rodman definitely, bro. Yes. Rodman was simply defense rebounding machine. Defense rebounding machine. He might have not been the tallest player on the court, but he played like the biggest player on the court. I love it, man. Back in the day, it was so different. Like how things are. Like now, it's a way the NBA has definitely changed when it comes to like roles when it comes to basketball players. Like the centers nowadays got handle. You know what I mean? I'm not taking them away from the centers back in the day. They had handle, but I don't think they run in a fast break like this. Not like the way they do. Like Victor Wembanyama is like 7'6" or whatever he is. And he used to be like a guard back in the day. So he had like this crazy handle, which I'm a little bit nervous with him because he's so tall, but he looks so lanky. But yeah, I just want the man to be healthy. Because if he's healthy, if he stays healthy, I think Victor Wembanyama could be an all-time great player. But then you got like the centers, like when Dirk Nowitzki played center, he was more power forward center, a mixture, right? Dirk, he was one of the best three-point shooting centers. Garnett, he started shooting the three later in his career as well. Tim Duncan did. Rasheed Wallace, y'all remember Rasheed Wallace? Rasheed Wallace shot a lot of threes play center or power forward because Ben Wallace was playing center. Ben Wallace with the Pistons. Y'all remember not the bad boy Pistons. Remember when they had Rip Hamilton, Prince, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Charles C. Billups. Yeah, man. Tim let them grow, bro. Tim took rookies and washed up David and won. Yeah, man. Don't say he washed up, bro. He wasn't Tim Duncan, but he wasn't washed, bro. And that was the time when Tim was the power forward and Robinson was the center. That's why I say Tim, they keep talking about him just being a power forward. He's a power forward and he's a center. He played both. Just depends on the matchup. It depends on the matchup for Tim. It depends on what Pop wants him to do. You know what I mean? Tim was a center and he was a power forward. But when it comes to the best power forwards of all time, I got him number one. That's just my opinion, bro. Hands down. Now, when you talk about centers, man, you just got so many greats, man. You got so many greats. It's hard to really like pick who's number one, who's number two. Best NBA players in America. The style has changed because NBA. I don't know, man. But I do agree. A lot of players in the hood probably never got the opportunity to play in the NBA. So I agree with you with that. You never know. You're not sold on Victor Wembanyama? Come on, Andre. Come on, bruh. Victor Wembanyama, he got game. Whether he wins a championship or not, it's a different story. That man's nice, bro. Like, when you get a chance, watch him, man. Watch the Spurs play. Well, if you go on my other channel, when we go against the Spurs, I'll try to make sure I go live for that game, play by play. And that man is he's special. He's a special player. He just gotta stay healthy. I love Parker though. History that could lock down positions 1 through 5. Yeah, and he wasn't the tallest too. That's when the NBA was more physical, T-Bass. That's when the NBA was. Never mind. Let me not even say that. Tim dominated Bosch in both finals at his age. Come on, man. Should have split finals MVP with Leonard. Hey, listen, I'm a Tim Duncan guy. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that he was washed. He just wasn't the same later in his career, but he still was good. You know what I mean? Still was good. But Leonard was a freaking beast, too. Like, can't take nothing away from Leonard. Nobody knew Leonard was going to be that good. That's why I'm saying you got a draft right, too. Hands down, unstoppable shot? Yes. You ain't lying. But all right, y'all, let me get off. Everybody that's in the building, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, I have my other channel right here. This is my basketball channel. If you haven't already, make sure you go subscribe to that channel. I will possibly be live tonight. I think the Sixers go against the Kings. So I will be doing the play-by-play for that game. But shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the conversations. This is really pretty cool. Usually this is a football channel, but it's cool to talk about other things, man. And I'm thankful for everybody that's been in and out of the chat. Thank you so much. Redmond first ballot to me. See, I'm 49. That was my error. NBA players dribble too much. Give me 2 dribbles and score. Yeah, the game is so different, bro. Like I try to be careful what I say when it comes to like back then and now, because I don't want to make it seem like, because I love basketball, man. Like, but it's hard to play defense. Just keeping it real. You really can't do too much. Remember when I didn't get to witness, because I was probably like 3 years old, when the bad boy Pistons were going against against Michael Jordan. Remember they was doing the Michael Jordan? I seen one highlight when the bull looked like he clotheslined Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan got right back up like it was nothing. I'm like, yo, this is more like wrestling. This is more like fighting. but not fighting. I'm like, how the heck did Michael Jordan just get back up after he just got clotheslined? The Bad Boy Pistons was no joke, man. I don't even know how. Listen, I'm surprised they ain't really get into a crazy fight, because I would have been. We would have had to. We would have had to throw down for real. For real. You ain't gonna just be doing that to me. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? That's just how I feel. Oh yeah, that's true. You talking about Ben Wallace, right? Or Rasheed Wallace? Anyway, do a show. Fire Kills. I pretty much already did one of those shows. But shout out to you, bro. Appreciate it. Everybody, have a wonderful day. I'm getting off. Peace.
Mike Sports Vibes, thank you for vibing with me. Yeah. Mike Sports Vibes, thank you for vibing with me. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. Let's go.
I really do this.
I'm a hybrid fan. I'm a stand-up man. Yeah. They be hating on the squads, but they really a fan. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. I'ma talk that talk about the Sixers and the Vikings. Let's go.